and buggy day in Tampa, Florida. We're at Tampa Stadium, a matchup of 1 and 2 teams, the Washington Redskins and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And a pleasant good afternoon, everybody. Alongside Ron Pitts, I'm Thom Brennaman. For the first time all season long, the Buccaneers have wide receiver Alvin Harper on the field.
You know what? He calls himself the demolition man. I tell you what, he hurt his ankle 2 days before the season opener. He says he's not 100%, but he's going to give it a try. Let's see what happens.
For the Washington Redskins, they're scoring lots of points, and the main reason is the quarterback, Gus Frerotte.
You know, a lot's been said about Gus Frerotte over the last year and a half, and I tell you what, it's all warranted. The guy has three things to me. He's poised, he's patient, and he's prepared. He's the man, and he deserves to be. Even though they didn't win the game last week against Denver, at one time or another, he showed all three of those things. If you talk about the offense, you got to talk about this guy right here, too, Michael Westbrook. I mean, he comes in as a rookie. He's got the size, the speed, the skill. He is a big playmaker, Tom. And I tell you what, they haven't had that kind of big playability and excitement since the Fun Bunch and the Posse from the 80s.
Well, we'll see how the Washington offense fares today against a stingy Tampa Bay defense. We'll have the kickoff from Tampa, Florida, after these messages.
Sunday.
You know, Linda's been my barber.
Stylist.
For years.
Months.
And a while back, she told me.
Stop squirming.
No. She said I should do something about my flakes. I said, get a new barber? She said, get new Head and Shoulders. I said, you're serious? She said, yeah. Now it has micro D, which fights flakes better without stripping your hair of the oils it needs. So my hair feels no flakes. I owe it all to my stylist.
New Head and Shoulders, because great hair can't have flakes.
A hot day here in Tampa, Florida. Week 4 of the NFL season. The Redskins and the Buccaneers each hit 1 and 2 on the season. Washington has won the toss, selected to receive. And William Bell, 36. Brian Mitchell, number 30, awaiting the kickoff of Michael Houston. Brian Mitchell, as dangerous a kick returner as there is in the NFL.
Last week, 290 all-purpose yards, and I asked Norv Turner last night, as if you try to get this guy the ball more, because every time he touches it, he does something. And he's fired up. You know, he said, I talk a lot. I like to talk trash. He said, that's my game. And he's got to be thinking about Curtis Buckley last year, putting that hit on him and knocked him out. The ball came out. He said, yeah, that's a part of the game.
Mitchell last week in Denver had kickoff returns of 56, 38, and 37. A huge game despite being so early in the season for both of these teams. And we're underway. It'll be Mitchell, a yard deep. 25 and dragged down at the 29-yard line by Lamar Thomas. And a penalty flag on the field before the Washington offense will put it in play. Mike Carey, our referee. Tampa started too soon.
Yeah, you know, that's a call that they could make every single kickoff if they wanted to. You know, it's like holding in the offensive line.
Offside by the kicking team. 5-yard re-kick.
Well, we'll do it all over again.
Tell you what, with the heat the way it is today, that's something you don't want to do too many times. I know Buckley and Gann, those guys are fired up for the Bucs, but they're going to be feeling it coming down this time. Checking out Sam there. I got to believe, Tom, sometime today, Sam Weiss has got a trick up his sleeve in the special teams. I don't know if it's going to be in a kickoff return, or what.
Well, we remember you brought up earlier Curtis Buckley in the hit that he laid on Brian Mitchell.
And you know, this year, this hit would be illegal because this was front of the helmet type of hit right there. That's an illegal hit this year. Wow. Boy, and I know Brian Mitchell wishes it was illegal this year. I wish that it was illegal last year. Whew.
Well, Brian Mitchell, certainly one of the best in the business.
Don't worry, in a few years, they'll make up helmet airbags for those kind of hits.
You're probably right. Well, the Redskins coming off a heartbreaking defeat at Denver last week. 2 key plays in the game. And Norv Turner suggesting that the instant replay should be brought back into the National Football League. We'll talk more about those calls later in the day. But again, Mitchell and Bell, this time the kick from the 25. And Mitchell has it bounced into the end zone. Well, they elected to have it kicked again, and it backfired.
You know, what's funny is that Tampa Bay was offside again.
Well, a few players pushing and shoving out at the 35-yard line.
Oh, yeah, it's got to be Buckley. Buckley's involved. Coleman Bell right there. Don't forget, they didn't forget what this man did to him last year on that kickoff return. You know, you go back and you watch that on film, and nobody points a finger at Mitchell. They point a finger at those guys up front blocking. That's their fault. You let a guy come scot-free and put that kind of hit on your return man.
All right, here we go. The Washington offense puts it in play at the 20. Gus Ferrata, quarterback, his third straight start. Jenkins in motion, the give to Terry Allen, the NFC's third leading rusher, broke one tackle, but can't escape. Number 77, Mark Wheeler. Gus Ferrata, the 197th pick of last year's draft. Second-year pro out of Tulsa. A makeshift offensive line in front of him due to injuries to the All-Pro Jim Lachey and Trey Johnson. So Patton at left tackle, Smith in the middle. Allen and Logan in the backfield. Outstanding pair of receivers in Ellard and the rookie Michael Westbrook. Galbraith is the tight end. Gain of 2, second and 8. And Ferrata, his first pass, dumps it across the middle. Terry Allen, a first down to the 35. Derek Brooks, the rookie out of Florida State, on the tackle. Tampa Bay defense has been very good. They're waiting for Curry to get started, the number 1 pick out of Alabama. Linebacking core, a solid group. The rookie Brooks, the All-Pro Nickerson, Lonnie Martz on the outside. Cornerbacks have been beaten up this season injury-wise. Martin Mayhew, the former Redskin, back in the lineup. Everett and Bussey, the safeties.
Mayhew might be the side that they try to attack. He's coming back from that knee sprain. He's not 100%. Magruder is the healthier athlete. You may see him out there sooner or later.
After the gain of 13, Allen will take the pitch, and up from his free safety spot is Everett.
Oh, that's a great shot that time of Thomas Everett, the safety that came over from Dallas last year. He's right there. He's creeping up. And boy, you know what that does? That creates an 8-man front situation. You can see Allen does a good job of avoiding. But when you've got that many people, you can't match it up. You can't block it.
Second and 12 for the Redskins. And Ferrata again to throw. Far side through the hands of the intended receiver, Henry Ellard, who generally is as sure-handed a receiver as there is in a league.
I tell you what, I'll give you $100 if you can show me 5 of those instances when he's dropped balls like that. Ferrata puts it there. He's going to come down. He's going to do a little in route. Stop right beyond the marker. The ball is there. The catch has got to be made.
Leslie Shepard is checked in, a 3-receiver set. You see the Redskins have been very good in these situations this season. Mitchell, the lone setback. On his 3rd and 12, good protection. The receiver fell down, and it was nearly intercepted by Everett. He was looking for Westbrook, the rookie out of Colorado.
Yeah, you know, Westbrook is right here. He's just going to work to the inside of the field. He's going to find an open part in that zone and sit down. Once again, the ball is there. He tripped coming out of that break. You can see Dimry got a little bit on him, tripped coming out of there. Everett's got to have that ball. That should have been an interception.
Matt Turk, a 44.3 average on the season, and waiting deep at his own 20 is Bobby Joe Edmonds. Good kick, but returnable at the 15. Edmonds escaped one tackle, and he brings it out to the 24, a 51-yard punt by Turk, and the tackle made by Trevor Matic. So Tampa Bay will get the ball for the first time. No score early on at Tampa Stadium.
Today, modern man is safe, insulated from the elements. We have climate control, home shopping, 500 channels. We can surf the net. We even have cars that are so smooth and quiet, you don't even know you're driving.
Are you free? Are you really free? Are you passengers and there are drivers.
Believe it or not, with Hewlett-Packard's real-life imaging system, the print quality of HP's new DeskJet 600 series printers is so good that your work might just take on a life of its own. HP home printers, just what you had in mind.
Fox NFL Sunday is brought to you by Volkswagen. On the road of life, there are passengers and there are drivers. Drivers wanted. By Taco Bell, tacos, burritos, nachos, and a whole lot more. By Hewlett-Packard Home Printers. Printers so good that your documents will truly come to life. And by Nike, who encourages you to participate in the lives of America's youth.
So we're back in Tampa. First play from scrimmage for the Buccaneers offensively. Brent Dilfer, a rough game last week against Chicago. And he was intercepted 4 times. They set up the screen for the tight end Jackie Harris, and he's out to the 29. Brent Dilfer, the 6th pick in last year's draft. 7 interceptions, only 2 touchdowns this season. Up front, a change at left guard where Pine replaces the #1 pick Charles McRae. We mentioned Alvin Harper in the Buccaneer lineup for the first time all season long. Rep the NFC's Offensive Rookie of the Year, and Harris the tight end. On the 2nd and 6, this is Eric Rep. And he's close to a first down, maybe a yard or 2 short. Ken Harvey on the tackle. And the front 4, a maligned group early in the season in Washington. Linebacking core of Patton over from Buffalo, Stevens from Seattle, and Harvey, the All-Pro a year ago. Green and Carter, the corners, and the free agents Richard and Washington, the safety. Certainly an upgrade in that area. 3rd and a yard, play fake, and Dilford flushed out of the pocket. Down he goes. Ball comes loose, and it appears as though the Buccaneers were able to recover. Sterling Palmer made the initial hit, and covering the ball is Paul Gruber. You know, the Washington D, a league low 2 sacks coming into the game today.
Yeah, that's been their problem, but what's been Trent Dilfer's problem, he's looking for the home run ball. He's trying to go to Harper on the stutter and go. It's not there, and then the pursuit catches up to him. There's Palmer, Johnson. You just can't hold the ball that long. He's got to learn to throw that ball away. And you're right, that's a group that has got to play better. The defensive line of the Redskins, they have had their trouble.
Ryan Mitchell has returned 5 punts for touchdowns this season, or rather in his career, I apologize. And this one is returnable to 25. Foreman coverage by the Buccaneer special teams, pushed out of bounds at the 31, a 52-yard boot by Reggie Roby, the former Redskin. So we'll take a break. Back to Tampa in a moment.
You're cruising at 13,000 feet. Winds are moderate, sky is clear, a perfect day to jump. It's blue skies skydiving outside Seattle, where you can see the world at 160 miles an hour. So if you're crazy enough to try it, make sure you're smart enough to bring your Visa card, because at Blue Skies, American Express just won't fly. By the way, they do insist you pay first. Visa, it's everywhere you want to be.
When they were small, we had a little sports car.
And then they got bigger, so we had to get a 4-door.
So we leased a new Volkswagen Jetta, $199 a month. Nice, huh? The German-engineered front-wheel drive Jetta comes with rack and pinion steering, daytime running lights, dual airbags. It's a great driving car.
It's got a big back seat.
And a huge trunk.
Weimaraners come from Germany.
Maybe that's why they like driving so much.
On the road of life, there are passengers and there are drivers.
America's funniest magazine comes to Fox. Gump Fiction.
We're gonna have to get medieval on your buttocks.
Mad TV premieres Saturday, October 14th.
We're back at hot, muggy Tampa, Florida. No score. Nearly 5 minutes have passed here in the opening quarter. Gus Farad, 1 of 3 in the game. Should be 2 out of 3. Had a drop ball by Henry Ellard.
Yeah, actually 2 drop balls. Westbrook slips out of the break.
Terry Allen cuts back inside. And he gained 3 to the 35. Right now, let's send it back to Hollywood for McDonald's game break and James Brown.
Thom, nice running there, but take a look at this. Eric Kramer mishandles the ball, doesn't fall on it. Guess who picks it up? An opportunistic Toby Wright. He heads to pay dirt. 4th Rams touchdown off of a turnover. The Rams are plus 13 on the turnover table, and they lead it 7-0. Back to Thom and Ron.
Yeah, you know what that's about? Yeah, the Rams are playing good, but when you got plus 13 turnover ratio, they haven't had a turnover yet. They're getting the ball. They're called takeaways. That's key.
That Ram team unbeaten after the first 3 weeks. 2nd and 7 after the 3-yard gain. Farad fires across the middle to Leslie Shepard, 2nd-year pro out of Temple. Spent the entire season last year on the practice squad and has been a big playmaker for him early this year.
You know, talk about the things that these teams got to do. 2 tight ends, you're going to see that a lot from Tampa Bay's offense. They'll take some pressure off of Trent, and it'll help him run the ball a little bit better. Dink and dunk, no more home run balls for him. Great play actions from the Redskins. They've always done that effectively, and Trent Dilfer has proven he can't handle the blitz. You'll see the linebacker blitz from the Redskins defense.
Allen on a 1st and 10, met head on up from the strong safety Barney Bussey. He's been splitting time with John Lynch back there, but Lynch a sprained ankle last week, and he is not in uniform today. What a pickup Terry Allen is for this Redskins team.
Oh, well, here's a guy, as we look at Norv Turner there, 2 reconstructed knee surgeries, goes over 1,000 yards after one of them. I mean, that's incredible. It's funny, his sister has the same thing. She's got both of her knees reconstructed, so I guess it's something that kind of unfortunately runs in the family.
2nd and 8 at the 45. Farad up top, down the sideline, and overthrown the intended receiver, Michael Westbrook.
Boy, I tell you what, nobody gets the top speed faster right now in the NFL, believe it or not, than this rookie right here, Michael Westbrook. Working on Dimry, bump and run, but watch the moves he gives and the strength right there. And then he just climbs steps on Dimry. Dimry's in great position, though. That's actually interference. Dimry put that left hand on him. Boy, you want to talk about getting blown away. Whew. Westbrook can go. And he's got the size of an Alvin Harper, the speed and agility of an Horizon.
He's going to be something. A 3rd and 8 for the Redskins at their own 45. Farad taken down at the 36. A host of Buccaneers in on that sack led by Culpepper. That's his 2nd this season.
Culpepper down inside. What happens is Bernice Smith, 61, he has to try to hit 2 men at the same time. He's worried about his inside gap. Culpepper takes a shot at him, comes around the outside. Nobody picks him up.
But now Turk on the punt. Bobby Joe Edmonds stands at his own 15. Short kick. And it goes out of bounds at the 30-yard line. So not a good boot. Only 34 yards by Turk. Good field position for Trent Dilfer and the Buccaneers. We'll be right back.
I got it.
Coors Light, the silver bullet. It's shipped cold to tap the clean taste of the Rockies. Tap the
Want to try new Perk Plus?
No, thanks. It makes my hair kind of limp. I tried it years ago.
But this is new.
No way. I've got a date tonight.
Then you'll like this precise blend of several conditioners, individually balanced for every kind of hair.
Okay, I'll try it. It's a blind date anyway. All right. It's definitely better. It feels kind of, well,
great. Perk Plus in 5 precise new formulas.
I just moved in this city, right? And I need a really flexible car. So I leased a Volkswagen Golf. $179 a month. It's great. I sell cappuccino machines. Sometimes I need to move big things, sometimes I have to move little things, but I always have to move. It's got dual airbags, daytime running lights, and everything fits into it. And it fits into everything. Hey! I have got to cut back on the caffeine.
On the road of life, there are passengers and there are drivers.
Hollywood comes to Springfield.
Guess what? They're going to pay us $50 a day to film some of the movie here.
The Simpsons, an all-new episode tonight.
Well, we're back in Tampa. No score midway through the opening quarter. The Buccaneer fans hoping they can have something to get excited about. Trent Dilfer has thrown 6 interceptions, no touchdowns in the last couple of weeks against Cleveland and Chicago. It's their second possession here today.
There's the 2 tight ends we talked about.
Flag down on the field. Dilfer to the near side and overshoots his intended receiver, Horace Copeland. But again, a penalty flag down on the field.
Trent Dilfer is putting a lot of pressure on himself. Just talking to him yesterday, he said, if I don't see what I need to see downfield, I'm just going to dump it off. But yet, 2 times now, he's looked downfield for the long ball.
And you can only wonder, Ron, with Alvin Harper back for the first time today, if maybe that hasn't changed his thinking a little bit.
Yeah, but it shouldn't, because Alvin is not 100%. And that's a key point. He's got to get Alvin out of his mind unless Alvin is scot-free running down the field.
Well, Harper had the injury in the preseason. And they'll move the Buccaneers back.
Legal procedure on the Bucs.
Illegal formation by the offense. 2 receivers lined up on the line of scrimmage. 5-yard penalty. We take first down.
So it'll be 1st and 15. But getting back to Harper, he had the left ankle and the left knee injured in the preseason. Got healthy from that. But then on the Thursday before the opener against Philadelphia, he injured the right ankle and has just not been the same since. Again today, his first game where he's able to play.
Right, you know, and that's the thing. It wasn't the injury he sustained in the preseason game, the combination knee and ankle. He gets his other ankle rolled up on in practice 2 days before the Philadelphia opener, and that's what's been the problem. And he said it's just been a nightmare. He felt like he had to come out and play to prove to the fans that, hey, you're going to get something out of your money. That's how he feels.
Delay, and the give is correct. Well, he broke Darrell Green's tackle, and then catching from behind is Marcus Patton. Well, the Tampa Bay offense the last 2 weeks, Ron, has done close to nothing.
I tell you what, it's all about this right here. You're going on long drives and you're not getting anything out of it. 1 touchdown and 24 drives, field goals. You know, we talked about the Rams, okay, and their turnover ratio. Look at the bottom here, block punt, block field goal, 1 turnover as a result of downs or change of possession. They're not getting any points, and that's the name of this game. It looks good if you can hold the ball and do all that, but if you can't score, you can't win.
Get it off! Get it off! Put him back.
3rd down and 4, and Rhett will be stopped well short of the first down. So 3 and out the first time, 3 and out again.
Yeah, you know, the Bucs have been struggling as far as the 3rd down is concerned. And, you know, here come the Boo Birds and all that kind of stuff. And that doesn't help his case at all. Like I said, I think he is the 1995 version of Brett Favre. Everybody asks, is he the right guy? Is he right for the offense? Should we change the offense? Should we get somebody else? You know, it's going to be a tough year for him if he just doesn't learn to think within himself and play his game.
And you got to bear in mind, Dilfer, the youngest starting quarterback in the league, 23 years young. What a boot by Roby, but returnable from Mitchell at the 7. Broke a tackle, and he's out to the 30-yard line, a 57-yard punt. And John Booty finally able to drag him down. No score here in Tampa. The Redskins and the Buccaneers. We'll be right back.
In the middle of my workday, I don't do power lunches. I do power lifts. And when you work out this hard, better use a deodorant that works hard too. That's why I use Speed Stick. It gives me 110% protection that lasts all day. And fortunately, all night. Because while I may not have time for lunches, I always manage to find some time for dinner.
Speed Stick, like you, it never quits. And try new Speed Stick Clear for clear protection that never quits.
5 minutes. Taco Bell invites you to enter the Crunch Zone. Who delivered the crunch of the week? Was it Darren Woodson, James Washington, or Bryce Pop? Find out right after this.
No double teams. No home court advantage. No substitutions. No best of 7. It's Shaq versus Akeem. The Taco Bell one-on-one championship coming soon to pay-per-view from the Trump Taj Mahal.
No excuses. No problem.
And now get your one-on-one championship commemorative cup free with the purchase of any extreme value meal. No place but Taco Bell.
Last week against the Colts, the Bills needed a big play, and Bryce Pop came through.
Pop in there again.
Pop's 3 sacks and 2 forced fumbles filled the bill. Bryce Pop coming up big in the Taco Bell Crunch Zone.
Well, we're back at Tampa Stadium in Tampa, Florida. No score with 5:42 left to go in the first quarter. Each of these teams coming in at 1-2 and coming off very different losses, but losses nonetheless. The Buccaneers humiliated here last week. 7 turnovers, falling to the Bears in front of a sellout crowd. And another hot one here in Tampa. Number 77 Mark Wheeler, a short gain. Tuesday, Fox presents a world premiere motion picture. Married with Children, Ed O'Neill brings together some of the greatest minds on earth to try and unlock the secrets of the future. But sometimes knowing too much can kill you. Don't miss Weird World on the Fox Tuesday night movie. Parental discretion is advised.
I'll be sure and get home for that. I definitely got to catch that flight.
You better check with Elijah before you can watch it.
Elijah's got his own problem.
Second and 9, and able to make the grab out to the 40 is Westbrook, and that's close to a first down. Let's send it back for a McDonald's game break to Hollywood and James Brown.
Hey, Tom, the NFL's worst rushing team got a little bit better. Mario Bates had a 33-yarder and this 3-yard rushing touchdown. First rushing score of the season for the Saints. They're all even at the Meadowlands at 7. Back to Tom and Ron.
Boy, both those teams trying to get it turned around. Cedric Smith is checked into the backfield. 2 tight end set on this 3rd and a yard. First down for Allen. Crossing midfield to Buccaneer territory at the 49. Thomas Everett up from his free safety spot.
You know, you talk about being soft, but it doesn't help when you got guys like Giesick coming around the corner. Here's Giesick here. He's going to come on a pull, and everything on this side, man-to-man blocking here, is just going to collapse. Look at that. I mean, you know, 3rd and 1 situation, you're opening up holes like that. Well, it's hard not to win. You know, this is when the Washington Redskins are great, when they can do that kind of running, be effective, and then they come with the play action. You know, going all the way back to Sonny Jurgensen and Theismann, they've always been a great play action team.
Rolling right, setting up the screen the other way, and the ball is dropped by the tight end Coleman Bell.
But there it is. They set it up with the run, and they come back with the play action, the play fake, the screen to the other side, and they had it. It's wide open. All they got to do is catch the ball. You know, talking to Norv Turner last night. Here's the fake on the sweep to the right. It's just a little turnaround, and actually it's a double screen. You saw Mitchell going one way, and he had Lyman out on the other side. They want to throw that screen to the backside. But talking to Norv last night, he said, hey, we're not going to change anything in the offensive line. You know, they got Lachey hurt. Let's stay with the line we had put in there. They only allowed 1 sack last week.
It's coming. They pick it up. Dumped off to Mitchell. And he's to the 36-yard line. Ryan Mitchell. We mentioned set 2 Redskin records last week.
Mitchell here. See, if Mitchell doesn't see anybody coming on a blitz, he's just going to leak out. He's just going to check and leak out. And the thing you notice about the Redskins is they get a lot of people out into the route. 80% of the time, Farrat will have no one back there to protect him. He won't have a tight end or a back. And that's something, and as a zone team, Tampa Bay, they've got to find a way to defend that.
To put it up. Far side, perfect throw to Henry Ellard. Another Washington first down. Well, Ellard, in 19 games since joining the Redskins, 83 catches for first downs.
Watch 39 Dimry in white. Watch his technique. He's going to get spread a little bit, and he slips coming out of the break. That's all Ellard needs to make the catch. But, you know, you got to know you're working against Henry Ellard. He is a pro all the way. The guy's been in the league. He's seen all the tricks. And I don't think he's getting any slower. He's a technician as far as running routes. That route there was called the speed out. Very hard to defend, even when you do stay on your feet.
Run again to throw. Pump fake. Look into the end zone.
He doesn't have it.
Now just threw it away. He had an eye on Westbrook.
Yeah, talking to Westbrook last night, he said, I don't expect to be doubled. I'm not at the caliber of a Jerry Rice or anybody like that right now, but the Bucs don't believe that. They had 3 guys on him that time.
Westbrook has touched the ball 13 times this season, has accounted for 262 yards. He has 6 plays already of 20 or more yards.
Here's a guy that didn't go through training camp. Maybe he's setting a new precedent for rookies coming into the league. Bottom line is when you can play, you can play. That's what it's all about.
Clock ran out on the Redskins, or is he able to call timeout? Apparently he just did signal for time. Farrat already 5 out of 10, 59 yards. He spread it around. Ellard to catch along with Westbrook, Shepard, and Allen. And how about the story of Gus Farrat? 196 players were selected in last year's draft before Gus Farrat.
You know, it's amazing. Here's the guy that's making the league minimum of 149, you know, and you got between Dilfer and Schuler, those guys, you know, they're in the $33 million range, okay? And he's the one that has the numbers all the way around. And interceptions, that's the thing, okay? And you come in, you figure, well, they're all rookies, they're all going to have the growing pains. But if you talk to Gus Farrat, he said, nobody can put pressure on me but me. I'm very confident. And, you know, the team is confident when he's in. They block different. They tackle different. They play different.
And boy, do the fans love Gus Farrat in the nation's capital. Stays on his feet. And gets to the 20. Santana Dotson able to trip him up, and Nickerson finished him off.
Yeah, Curry came around the backside that time. Was able to just get a little bit of the heel. And that's interesting. Curry, he's standing up now. He was in the down lineman position, but he stands up and comes around as we look at Santana Dotson.
Well, a big play for the Redskins. 3rd and 8 at the Buccaneers 20. Terrific coverage by Charles Dimry, Westbrook, the intended receiver. So it'll be a field goal try for Washington. And that is one thing that Tampa Bay has done better than any other defense in the league. Shut down the opposition in the red zone.
Westbrook is just going to come down, stop, and try to work inside. But the mistake he makes is that he doesn't go beyond the first down marker. And that's a rookie mistake. You know, we talked about the training camp, but you know what? Those are the things you learn as a rookie in training camp. 3rd down situation, you're going to run a short route. Get yourself on the other side of the first down marker.
Eddie Murray for a 37-yard field goal try. Snap a little high, handled well by Farrat. And Murray bangs it through, the first points of the game. Washington a 3-0 lead. You know, we were talking about the Buccaneer defense. Opponents have reached the Buccaneers red zone 9 times this season, now 10. And they've come away with just 2 touchdowns. As you see Murray continuing to climb the ladder on the all-time field goal list.
Well, you look back traditionally with the Redskins, they've always been solid, I think, in 2 areas. They've always been solid in special teams, and they've always had offensive lines to protect their quarterbacks and run the ball well.
Coming up next, it's the second half of our Fox NFL Sunday doubleheader, when most of you will see the Arizona Cardinals take on the Dallas Cowboys or the Philadelphia Eagles and the Oakland Raiders. Check local listings for the game and time in your area. 3-0 lead for Washington. Final seconds, final minutes of the first quarter here at Tampa Stadium. Well, they had a crowd of better than 71,000 to sell out last week. And probably about 2/3 of that here today.
Yeah, then the big disappointment happened, you know, and it's funny talking to Trent Dilfer. He said, I was so jacked up for that game. And you know, he played like it, and that was his mistake. He came out and tried to get the home run ball, but it's not a stable situation down here as far as the fanfare is concerned. It's on a win week-to-week basis, strictly.
Well, you see the logo, A New Day in Tampa Bay under new ownership, and they're hoping to get things turned around this season. Short kick. Edmonds at the 12. Has a seam. Edmonds. Caught from behind at the 45. Daryl Morrison, a touchdown-saving tackle, a 44-yard return by Edmonds.
Here's a guy that was out of the league for 5 years, battling alcoholism. He makes a comeback. In Seattle, he was one of the best special teams perennially. Here he comes. Look at it. He's just breaking through seams. And, you know, we just get through talking about the Redskins special teams, and look at what happens. But you got to remember, even though he's been out for 5 years, we can still make things happen.
At the Washington 45, Red carries to the Washington 35. James Washington, the former Dallas star, on the tackle. Well, in 2 games last season, Red against Washington, 193 yards in the first game, 64 in the second.
And Washington talked a lot of stuff this week about him and Alvin Harper not getting along too good over there in Dallas. And Alvin is funny. He said, I'm not really worried about it. It won't be anything special to him. Let's see if they hook up today.
Second and 1, Red. A first down inside the Washington 30.
Boy, you don't think Eric Red is strong? Here's a guy that's only 5'11", 211. But, you know, he's like James Brooks used to be, you know, for the Bengals. One of those real small, but would just roll you over if you didn't hit him right. Tough guy all the way around.
First down of the game for the Buccaneers. That's the end of the first quarter. Our score, Washington 3, Tampa Bay 0.
She was beaten and died of a blow to the back of the head.
In search of his friend's killer.
I just want some answers. I'm sorry, fella. My name's not Fella.
Easy Rollins is asking questions no one wants answered.
Get it.
Now, no one can stop him.
Start up my car, keep it hot, I'm coming out fast.
From finding the truth.
Don't lie to me!
Academy Award winner Denzel Washington, Devil in a Blue Dress, rated R, at theaters Friday.
If a car and truck rental company could see things from your point of view, it would offer one of the most diverse selections of vehicles on the planet and service that rises far above your expectations. Well, one company is seeing things your way. Budget, with a renewed commitment to satisfy you with special offers like this. Rent a Ford Aspire for a 3-day weekend for only $69. Call your travel agent or Budget at 800-527-0700. Budget, all the difference in the world.
I'd have to say Larry is my best friend. The guy is a maniac for sports. loves to play football. That's his sport, and he's the boss.
And he'll never, ever leave a game early.
What is this, the Arctic Bowl?
He's rolling out the tarp with him.
Larry! But all my life, Larry's always done me big favors.
Mike, Diane, Mike.
Hi.
Very big favors.
Yes. Cheers, buddy.
When you're with a friend as good as Larry, shouldn't you have a Heineken?
3-0 Washington lead as we head for the second quarter. Thom Brennaman and Ron Pitts here at Tampa Stadium. A hot, muggy day, but you wouldn't expect anything different this time of year.
You know, about 15 guys for the Bucs last week in the Chicago game got IVs before the game. Okay, before the game. Talking to Michael Magruder down there, the defensive back for the Bucs. He said, I took about 3 salt tablets last night, and I took another one today to try to retain that water. But it's just a matter of time. It's going to catch up to you.
And don't these lights feel good along with this hot sunshine?
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Bill Brown, our producer. We love that.
3-0 lead, but the Bucs deep in Washington territory at the 30. Brett able to duck underneath, maybe picked up a yard. Tony Woods on the tackle. And some of the numbers from the first quarter.
Well, obviously, right here, that's the big deal. You know, the passing yards, and that's all Trent Dilfer. You know, he said he's going to pull it down. He said he's going to be more cautious. Well, it hasn't shown up. But on the other side, a couple miscues, a couple mental errors for the Redskins. They haven't been able to do much passing. I think both teams really want to run the ball. I think the Redskins want to run it first. And if they can find a big play with Westbrook, that's what they'll get.
Loose, and Washington has recovered. Dexter Nottage stripped it, and Dexter Nottage covered it. Well, we talked about the turnovers for the Buccaneers. They have killed Tampa Bay.
Nottage right there. He's inside. He gets past the guard and just gets a hand inside on Rhett. That's the play right there. You know, you talk about making plays behind the line of scrimmage, but ripping the ball, too, is important. And I got to believe with the sweat going on down there, and he doesn't wear anything in his arms, that had something to do with it, too. But a good play by Nottage.
In these mountains, you need a tough truck.
Dave Ashley, search and rescue volunteer.
Trails, I tend to make my own. It's one torture test after another. But the people I'm looking for depend on someone to find them. Well, I depend on something too. My Ford F-Series. How do you learn a job like this? Let's just say I drive something tougher than a golf cart on the weekends.
Ford F-Series. The best-selling trucks are built Ford Tough.
Let's have a big hand for the Cooking with Terry and Howie show.
Today's recipe: 1 bag of Lay's, pour into bowl. Let's stand. Here's one I prepared earlier. And for you advanced cooks, I recommend wavy Lay's. Great with guacamole.
Next week, flaming kebab. For today's recipe, like the Lay's and Wavy Lay's potato chips. Bet you can't eat just one. Fox NFL Sunday is brought to you by Ford and your Ford dealer. Have you driven a Ford lately? By Duracell batteries, you can't top the copper top. And by Lay's and Wavy Lay's potato chips. Bet you can't eat just one.
Well, the newly finished Florida Aquarium on the E-Board channel. New home for thousands of turtles, fish, and birds. A hot, muggy day in Tampa. 1st and 10 for the Redskins following the turnover. Harry Allen, a short gain, and here's another look at what happened.
Yeah, Nottage is right here. He's working on Ian Beckles. I want you to watch the move he gives to get away from Beckles. Right inside, right there, and they can't pick him up. The play is actually going to the opposite side, to the left, but he's able to chase it down, and that's smart on his part. When the guard over you disappears, your first move should be to run down the line and find the ball. And that's exactly what he's fired up because the Florida A&M band played before the game. That's what he's doing.
Barak took a shot and then delivers a strike to Westbrook, his second catch of the afternoon. Lonnie Martz delivered the blow on Farad, but you brought it up earlier on, Pitts. The poise of this second-year quarterback.
I can't remember the last time I saw a guy like this. And talking to Norv Turner last night, he said, I think he kind of reminds me of a Jim Everett when Jim first came in the league, the 88-89 season, when he was really hitting on his game. But the guy seems like he's never unsure of anything.
First and 10 at the Buccaneer 45, batted down by Martz. He blocked the throwing lane.
Yeah, that's a great point you bring up. You know, you don't plan on linebackers getting that far back that quick. Right here, he's going to let it go, but he's going to throw right into 51, Lonnie Martz. You'll see him get up. But, of course, when you got a vertical leap like that, you don't expect linebackers to be able to jump that high. Martz, a guy who's really complimenting a Hardy Nickerson inside and a young Derek Brooks on the other side. Really is underrated.
Inside give to Allen. Broke a couple of tackles. Finally stopped by Brooks after a gain of nearly 6. So another third down for the Washington offense. Redskins leading 3-0. 12:40 to play until halftime.
You know, you can talk about Terry Allen's knee surgeries and all that, but here's a guy that's averaging 4.5 yards a carry, okay? That's number 3 in the NFC right now. In other words, he produces. And that's key.
Allard, Westbrook, and Shepard have checked in for Washington. They're on good protection. And another first down catch made by Leslie Shepard. And the chains will move. It's time for a McDonald's game break. Let's return to James Brown in our Hollywood studio.
All right, Tom, Ron will be impressed with how the Bears went big on this touchdown score. 6'4", 270-pound tight end. Keith Jennings hauls it in on the corner route. Bears have evened it up. And they trail now 10-7. Back to Tom and Ron.
No, JB, there ought to be a law against that. Big guys going up against little guys.
Spoken like a defensive back.
Talk about new rules that need to be made.
Now, Farad having to spend another timeout. Second already used here in the first half by the Redskins. He'll talk it over with head coach Norv Turner. And Turner not happy about having to spend the timeout.
If you had one wish every 15 years, wouldn't this be it? The 1995 Page Plant North American Tour. The genuine rock of Jimmy Page and Robert Plant, brought together by Miller Genuine Draft. The guitar, voice, and beer of rock and roll.
Pizza, pizza.
Cut, 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 cut. Caesar, you've got to tell the world. Deliver it, deliver it.
Pizza, pizza.
No, deliver it.
Pizza.
D.
P. Pizza, pizza.
I used to think he was cute, but now he's starting to bug me.
Maybe we should use one of the backups.
Backups, take one.
Let's just go with what we've got.
Delivery.
Now get the Pizza Salad Special. 2 Little Caesars pizzas and a fresh Express Farm salad, all for one low price.
It's just like a dream you can hold in your hands. Taurus stole your heart once, it'll steal it again. Taurus, making the dream come true.
No trendy health club. No $60 shorts. No bull. Speed Stick's no-nonsense formula gives you 110% protection. Like you, it never quits.
By minute. Why are all these beautiful women after Al Bundy?
Once you've tried shoe, you never go back.
Married with Children at a special time to 99.30, 8:30 Central.
That's the way Ron Pitts looks in the booth right now. It's that hot here in Tampa. 3-0 Washington lead. And the Redskins deep in Buccaneer territory. A first and 10 at the 30. Big hole from Mitchell, and he's inside the 25.
Giese came through the hole. You know, usually when a guy comes through the hole to block for you, somebody's there for him to block, but there is nobody for him to block. He slows down, and Mitchell runs right up his backside. There's a look at the turnovers and what the turnovers do to you. And you know, it's a good thing the Bucs defense has played, because so far, 10 possessions, 10 times their opponents have been in the red area. They've only allowed 2 touchdowns.
Good protection, and batted down by Dimry. Dimry's made a couple of nice plays today.
Usually when you give a guy this much time to throw the ball, you're going to get beat as a defensive back. You know, we talked about poise of Farad, but that's great protection. And a good play by Dimry. You know, there's a lot to be said for when your DBs are making plays when the quarterback has held the ball for about 4.5 seconds. He shouldn't be able to hold that ball under normal circumstances for more than 3 seconds, 2.5 actually. So that's like we say, we talked about Farad and how he's poised and all that, but he has had excellent time.
3rd and 6. They just get it off. Blitz coming. Farad fires. Incomplete. So another stop by the Buccaneer defense. Deep in their own territory.
Yeah, that time, Eric Curry, 75. He's a defensive end, but he comes, there he is right there, right behind the post. He's going to come in the middle. Farad's not used to seeing him come in the middle like that. Look at the way it opens up. Mitchell can't get over in time. And, you know, that's, once again, great vision, great poise by Farad. Seeing that and knowing that, hey, I don't want to take a sack down here in field goal range. Let me throw it away.
44-yard field goal try by Murray. Knocked down. The hold is good. The kick wide right.
The hold looks good. The snap looked good. It's all in the kicker.
It's just like a dream, can't hold in your hand. Taurus stole your heart once, it'll steal it again. Taurus, making the dream come true.
No batter, no batter, no batter, no batter. No stick. Swing batter. Home baby, home baby.
Your next meal might be some time off. Remember, nothing satisfies like Snickers. Hungry? Why wait?
That's all right.
You know, Linda's been my barber. Stylist for years.
Months.
And a while back, she told me.
Stop squirming.
No. She said I should do something about my flakes. I said, get a new barber? She said, get new Head and Shoulders. I said, you're serious? She said, yeah. Now it has Micro D, which fights flakes better without stripping your hair of the oils it needs. So my hair feels no flakes. And I owe it all to my stylist.
New Head and Shoulders, because great hair can't have flakes.
Oh, this is South Dakota. We found out Tony was pregnant in late April. Of course, the babies were born 8 weeks premature. It was hard on both of us. Tony found out about Aflac from some friends of ours. The Aflac took care of virtually everything.
Aflac covers the unexpected costs of getting better, so you can get on with life.
Babies' names are Tyler and Taylor, and they're about as healthy as you can get.
Well, take a look at the heat there. It's no joke, and you know they don't have those misters. That machine right in there to the right of Curry, that blows cold air out. But I gotta believe, Tom, you know, the longer this game goes on, with a low score like it's got to be in Tampa Bay's favor. They practice and they training camps here at the University of Tampa.
Over checking off. And he's back to throw. Good protection this time. Dumps it off to Dave Moore, the fullback. A gain of 5. It'll bring up 2nd down for Tampa Bay. Well, it's time as always for our Aflac trivia question. And here you go. Which pair of teammates combined for the most points in a single season? And we'll give you a minute or two to think about the answer to that question. Pretty good question.
Can I give hints?
Sure. Oh, you mean you know the answer?
Oh, I know it. Like you said before, I'm giving the answer ahead of time.
Dilfer, a short drop. Far side, caught by Courtney Hawkins. He has a Tampa Bay first down. Hawkins had 6 receptions for 74 yards against the Bears. But after putting on a great move against a Chicago defender, fumbled the ball with nothing but daylight in front of him inside the 10. That was a huge play in the game.
Did you notice how you never see real good teams do that? How many times have you seen Jerry Rice just run along and fumble the ball? That's the kind of stuff that happens to teams that are struggling.
Red. Oh, he just ran through James Washington and crosses midfield. Normally Washington, the man who delivers a blow.
Well, I tell you what, I'll be sure and give James a call and rouse him about that. We played together at UCLA. That man is a load. At 5'11", 211, he's a load. Just strength and power.
Gain of 7. Rep will get it again up for the first down. Spins away, and he's to the Washington 39. Harvey, along with Darrell Green, able to slow him down.
Pretend you're the linebacker. You got Red coming through. Look at the block there on Boutte. That's what it's all about. Great job by Mayberry, the center. That's their best play. This is what they did last week that's helped them. They run the ball a little bit and then go ahead with Dilfer in the passing game. It's funny talking to Rhett and his 50 pair of alligator shoes. About $1,000 a crack. Guess he can't get enough.
Red again. Looking for a hole. Not much room this time. Sterling Palmer on the tackle. 10th carry of the day already by Eric Rhett. Well, there are a lot of new shows coming to television this fall, but one is guaranteed to blow them all away. The producers of The X-Files are unveiling an incredible new drama, and the whole world will be watching. Fox presents the 2-hour series premiere of Space Above and Beyond. Tonight at 7 Eastern, 6 Central on Fox.
Tell you what, this is a great time for a play action. They're coming with that stretch play. And with the bootleg now, the opposite side.
You called it. Nope, they hand it off. Flag on the play. Tackle made by Ken Harvey on Eric Rhett. But let's see what the penalty flag is for on what would have been a 2nd and 7. And holding against the Buccaneers.
Holding. Offense number 62. 10-yard penalty. Repeat. 2nd down.
Yeah, that's Beckles inside, the right guard. You know, once again, we talked about the things that bad teams do. Teams that aren't playing well do. He's right here. Let's see if we can pick up the hold. Yeah, I'd say he's pretty much got a good grapple move going there.
Well, a 10-yard penalty makes it a 2nd and 17. And now Dilfer forced to throw. In trouble, Harvey from behind, and he got him.
You know, it all goes back to the penalty.
All right, now let's return to James Brown in our Hollywood studio.
Hey, Thom, Pittsburgh couldn't catch Robert Smith, though. Take a look at him. Longest run of his career, 58-yarder. Loses his shoe, actually got faster and more slippery. Boy, Pittsburgh, poor tackling. Nonetheless, Robert Smith to pay dirt. Minnesota leads at 7-3 in the 2nd. Let's take it back to Thom and Ron.
You know, that'll make NFL folly someday. But anyway, going back to the penalty, yeah, you know, the penalty, you get put back, and now you got to put Trent Dilfer in a situation to throw, and that's what happened. And the fact that you got a guy like Harvey chasing you down doesn't help either.
They have to get all the way to the 30-yard line for a first down. And Dilfer in trouble again. There comes Harvey again. That's caught by Hawkins. and he's well short of the first down. So the penalty puts Sam Weish and company in a hold. You may remember that happened to him last week against Chicago in a 9-3 game on a 3rd and 1. McCray jumps off sides.
Yeah.
It goes to 3rd and 6, and then the interception on the far side, which led to a Bear touchdown.
Exactly. Now let's contrast the two differences, okay? Farad, a series before, he throws the ball out of bounds, keeps his team in field goal range. Right here, Dilfer tries to make something happen instead of throwing the ball away and gets a sack. Now they have to punt. No chance for points unless they got a fake. Which you got to expect from Sam Weish sooner or later today.
In the last 2 weeks, they've had one block and then a forced snap. Will be angling near the sideline. And let's see where they spot it. Should be inside the 15. And we're still waiting. So are the players. It'll be at the 16. So we'll take a timeout. A 25-yard punt by Roby.
Go Buccaneers!
The legendary Nürburgring. It sounds crazy, but they let anyone drive on this world-famous racetrack for just a few Deutschmarks. It was here that Porsche engineers tested our new 911 Turbo. Lap after lap of the new 400-horsepower engine, the twin turbos, the liquid all-wheel drive. What did we learn? Well, don't send a German engineer here with an ATM card.
Nice pants.
Dockers, flat front khaki.
Fox NFL Sunday is brought to you by Porsche. There is no substitute.
Interior shot of the Florida Aquarium featuring the Florida Wetlands Gallery. Hot humid day here in Tampa. 3-0 Washington. And Allen on a first down carry will bring it out to the 19, a pickup of 2. Well, we've given you time to think about our Aflac trivia question. And it's time now to see if you were right or wrong. The tandem combining for the most points in a single season, Mark Mosley and John Riggins, 2 of the all-time greats in the storied Redskins franchise history. You don't want to hit him, Ron Pitts. Right. Steps up, throws, complete. To Smith out of the backfield, or rather Logan out of the backfield. And he's close to a first down. He needed to get just beyond the 26. And a penalty flag down. It'll go against Tampa Bay.
You know, it always amazes me, if the call is holding, okay, you've already given the signal, well, just announce it so we can get on with the game. What is the discussion about? What could they possibly be talking about?
Holding on the defense, number 35. 5-yard penalty, automatic. First down.
That'll be against Martin Mayhew, the former Redskin.
Martin here working on Ellard. He's not allowed to touch him after the 5 yards. He wraps him with that arm a little bit. Yeah, you know, that's what happens a lot of times. We know Mayhew's coming back from that sprained knee. Your technique isn't always there. So you're reaching, you're grasping, and trying to make up for it in other areas.
So it is an automatic first down, and Farad to throw. Guns to the far side, and it's caught by Ellard. He's across midfield. Henry Ellard, 7th all-time in reception yards, 6th all-time in receptions. What a player.
How smart to go right back to the guy that just got the penalty, because he's automatically going to be less aggressive. See, that's a great move by there, Ellard, and there's nobody in the middle of the field. And I credit that to the look-off by Gus Farad. He does that, a great job of that, and once again, the protection is there. You know, he's still got people coming in on him, but he's poised. He stays in the pocket and throws.
28-yard gain, and now the gift to Allen up through the middle.
This right here, what you're seeing is called the remix. They start the pass on you, then they come back to the run, and when the defensive coordinator makes some changes to get the run stop, then they come back with the pass. You are in trouble right now as a defense, and you're tired. You're very tired.
Well, the Redskins have had the ball the majority of the game. They've just been unable to come away with a touchdown twice deep in Buccaneers territory. One field goal, one missed field goal. Allen on the pitch. Breaking tackles to the 35. Nickerson and Mayhew.
And, you know, it goes back to the penalty once again as a downfall for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. The holding penalty, the yardage gets marked off. And when penalties happen, it just doesn't, you don't just lose yards. It's a mental thing. It's like, oh no. And the run is so demoralizing. The run, when somebody's running the ball on you, and that's a great shot of everybody down in the field for the Redskins on a knee. When they run the ball and you're telling you they're tougher than you man to man, and that's why it's so demoralizing.
Well, the Buccaneers have used a timeout. We'll be back in a moment.
How far have Goodyear retailers lowered prices?
Lower! Lower! Lower!
Everyday lows start at $19.99 and save 25% on other Goodyear tires. How low are the prices? Drop in and find out.
3-0 Washington lead. The Redskins have the ball at the Buccaneers 34.
Yeah, Rusty Tillman down there, defensive coordinator for the Bucs, talking to the team. You got to make sure you get substitutions going. You know, we saw a few series back, Dexter Nottage made the play for the Redskins, causing the fumble. Well, he's not a starter. He's backing up. That's a good job by Ron Lynn, the defensive coordinator, getting fresh bodies in the game, especially coming to this game.
Quick give is for Logan. And that's his first carry of the day, and he picked up 7. Mark Logan, who had an outstanding 93 with the 49ers. Well, next week, Fox NFL Sunday kicks off when most of you will see the Cowboys and these Washington Redskins, plus other exciting regional action. It all begins at noon Eastern, 9 Pacific. Check local listings for the game and time in your area. Well, the Giants are in trouble at Candlestick. Big trouble. 2nd and 4, and again, it's Logan. Slowed down by Curry and Wheeler, and then Brooks able to polish him off.
I thought Mitchell got away with a little move right there in the backfield. He was in the top of that I formation. They didn't catch it. This is the time that the Buccaneers have to be at their best. We talked about how good they are and all that in the red area. As you see a whole new group of guys coming in for that down front 4. But that's when they got to be at their best. Logan, I got to believe that heat's just got to him.
Well, now a timeout is taken. So when we come back, Farad and company face a 3rd and 2 at the Buccaneer 27.
Working to be the best. Teammates, sponsored by the U.S. Army. Carolina quarterbacks Kerry Collins and Frank Reich grew up a decade apart in the same hometown.
Reich will throw. Big rush. Deep ball near sideline. Going for Willie Green. He's got it!
Collins the pupil and Reich his mentor helped make the expansion Panthers the best they can be.
Raise your right hand and repeat after me. I.
From this day forward, you will be the most important part of the toughest, strongest, smartest army in the world. You will be a soldier. Where else can you be all this and earn this? $30,000 for college.
Be all that you can be.
Our German engineers could have road tested the new Porsche 911 Carrera 4 back home in Germany. They could have taken the 270 horsepower engine out on the Autobahn again, or driven the Black Forest with the all-wheel drive and radical suspension. They could have done all that back home. But then, they wouldn't have gotten all this neat stuff.
When Brooke tries to blackmail Amanda, there'll be hell to pay.
I'm back, Allison. The vengeance.
Melrose Place. A brand new episode Monday on Fox.
Washington, a 3-0 lead, a chance to add to that with 2 minutes to play until halftime. A 3rd down and 2 at the Buccaneer 27. To Mitchell, Farad able to fire to Coleman Bell. First down and more inside the Tampa Bay 10.
People are going to get tired of hearing me talk about it, but I got to say it because the guy delivers. Once again, it's poised. They're going to come with the play action and roll out to this side, but right here, Lonnie Marks is going to get right in his face. Watch how fast Gus Farad makes a decision. Bam! He waits just a split second long enough for Coleman Bell to get. That's the play they ran last week against Denver, and that crucial fourth quarter drive to get a first down in the red area.
Well, Coleman Bell ought to be used to this kind of weather. He's from Tampa. They give. And down he goes. And Kenna Dobson, his second sack of the game.
Well, Gus, he held the cards a little bit too long. Dotson 71 right there. He sheds away from Ray Brown, and Farad had the pump fake going. Right here, he gives a pump fake, and Westbrook goes to the corner of the end zone. All he needed was about another step.
Well, the Buccaneers have managed to get to Dilfer twice. Or rather, Farad twice so far here in the first half.
Dotson there, he's all fired up about there. If you look at Rusty Tillman, the defensive coordinator, coming over from Seattle. Of course, you know, Rusty was world-renowned for his special teams in Seattle. In fact, that's one of the reasons Bobby Joe Edmonds is here. They came to him and said, can this guy still play? They said, yeah, I think he can still play.
And Washington fans remember Tillman well. Coming up on the Dockers halftime, scores around the league, plus you won't want to miss another installment of Choice Cut. That's all coming up on the Dockers halftime. Loss of 4, 2nd and 14. Wide open as Mitchell tries to cut it back. But read beautifully by Lonnie Marks.
Yeah, you know what? That's good defensive awareness. Once again, another good job by Farad. You don't see what you need downtown. Westbrook's doubled. Shepard's doubled, so he goes ahead and dumps it. But in this situation, the Bucs defense knows that they just got to keep them out of the end zone. That's what they're working on, and the clock is running.
And Norv Turner getting the play into his quarterback, Gus Farad. Down to 42nd, and the ball at the Buccaneer 11. No timeouts left for the Redskins. Farad to the end zone, broken up. The intended receiver, Coleman Bell, Barney Bussey on the cover.
Oh, that's a hard fit. That's a tough fit. You know, I can't say he can throw too many balls like that and not get them intercepted. He's trying to fit that in between two Bucs defenders, and he's lucky that they came away with just an incompletion.
And another Washington drive in the Tampa Bay red zone. Stalled.
The key, though, is that the Redskins are getting points. But if you're the Bucs, you're saying that's okay. You know, if they make this field goal, that's only 6. A lot better than 2 touchdowns.
Murray, his 3rd try. And this one is through. He's 2 of 3 in the game. That one from 28 yards out. And with 20 seconds left to go until halftime, Washington a 6-0 lead. We talked about how important this game is for both teams, and the Redskins, as you mentioned, Ron Pitts, they're at least getting points.
Yeah, well, that's what it's all about. You know, we can talk about the drives, and we can talk about how good somebody is in the red area and all that kind of heat and all that, but the bottom line is they're going down and they're scoring. Tampa Bay is not doing that. When they get to the red area or near the 20-yard line, they shut down. The penalties start, the dumb plays, they get marched back, and now the pressure goes on Dilfer. So
Well, Norv Turner, as we mentioned earlier, made the comment earlier this week saying if Gus Frerotte continues to play well in this Washington offense, he will remain the starting quarterback even when Heath Schuler is healthy enough to go. Schuler in the first week of the season had to leave in the third quarter against Arizona with a sprained shoulder.
Yeah, I tell you what, Tom, between me and you and everybody back in D.C. listening, I think it's a done deal myself. I mean, you know, I think it sounds good for Norv to say that, but come on, the guy has got everything you want, and I'm having a hard time believing that he won't go into that office pretty soon and let's renegotiate his contract. 149 grand, you know, he's a lot better than that.
Gonna put it on the ground, juggled by the backup tight end, Ty J. Armstrong. And then Jerry Ellison able to cover it up. 15 seconds left to go until halftime. And Washington a 6-0 lead. Well, do you let one fly?
If you're Sam Weiss and what's gone on here the last 3 weeks, maybe you just run the clock out, because with their luck, he may step back to throw and get hit, the ball come out, and then the Skins will score for you know. So I don't know, I tell you. And that's the thing, you keep Trent Dilfer on the sidelines. He was on the sidelines for most of that quarter. A young quarterback, that makes him play even worse because he has time to think and get jittery and get nervous.
Well, they're just going to hand it off to Rhett. He's to the 30, penalty flag down the field and out to the 40. Dilfer signaling for a timeout with 7 seconds left, but again, flags on the field.
You know, this is what we're saying. This flag is against Tampa Bay. That's what we're talking about. You know, it's always something. A mistake here, a mental error here. Yeah, and it's on.
There was illegal motion on the offense. They weren't set before the ball was snapped. 5 yards. Penalty repeats. First down.
All right, now I'm going to ask you a question here, Ron, because Sam Weiss has come under a lot of fire here in Tampa Bay. When you see things like this, where a lineman leaves early, an illegal procedure call, you can't blame the coach for that, can you?
No, you can't blame the coach. Just like 2 weeks ago, you can't blame the coach when McCray moves offside in the crucial part of the game. No, that's the players' fault. They're pros, okay? They got to do certain things. Like I say, let's go back to the Dallas Cowboys, the 49ers, all the good teams, the great teams. Do you see them do that in crucial situations? You don't see it. You flat don't see it.
Well, 7 seconds left. And again, they'll just hand it off there to Rhett.
And the worst part about that is Rhett. As Palmer makes the tackle, Rhett got a 15, 18-yard gain erased. So that's what he's upset about.
Now the Washington defense has pitched a shutout through the first half here at Tampa Stadium. And that is the end of the first half. Our score, Washington 6, Tampa Bay nothing. And not much at all for the Buccaneers offensively. Fox NFL Sunday will continue with the Dockers halftime after this message and a word from your local station. First half is certainly the score would indicate. And you look at this game so far, Ron, and a very strange sort of game, particularly for Tampa Bay from an offensive standpoint.
Well, you know, the folks here in Tampa Bay are upset because they don't have any points. The folks in D.C. are upset because there's only 6 points on the board. I think Tampa Bay's biggest problem is when they get in the red area inside the 20, they have to put something on the board. That is their problem. And the dumb mistakes, you know, hey, it's too late now, 4th game of the season, to go in the locker room and say, hey, guys, we've got to stop the dumb mistakes. You know, that's what training camp is for. As far as Washington is concerned, I say keep running the football. Tampa Bay is having a lot of trouble stopping the run inside with both Logan and Mitchell. So, and the more you throw the ball, yeah, Frerotte is on, he's making some throws, but that can only get you in trouble the way the Bucs are playing today.
Buccaneer defense certainly has been solid today. The heat is certainly a factor. And as you look to the second half, you brought it up earlier, you think that may favor the Buccaneers because obviously they practice in this sort of heat every single day.
Yeah, but you know what? That's a nice thing to have in your favor, but if you're not playing the basics of the game and you're not tackling, hitting, running, and scoring, it could be 200 degrees out here. The better team is going to play better and win the game.
For your sake, thank goodness it's not 200 degrees, and here are the first half statistics. And certainly the numbers just jump right out at you.
Absolutely. Well, you know, you look at this right here. That's the passing. That's a big difference, and that's all Gus Frerotte. But the number that stands out in my mind I'm looking at this right here. 11 first downs, and look at the time of possession. That's key because that tells you that the Redskins are moving the ball down the field and they are holding the ball, okay? The scoring is the biggest problem. They're getting field goals. I know they want touchdowns, but when you can keep Trenton Dilfer on the sidelines thinking about life that long, it's got to be in your advantage.
And you see on the field better than 110 degrees if you mix in the humidity here at Tampa Stadium. And we'll see if that has anything to do with the way both teams go at it in the second half. Passing by distance for Gus Frerotte. And you see the long ball has been his biggest asset. He's hit 10 of 20 for 127 yards, been sacked twice.
Yeah, but what Gus Frerotte does, he's got the accuracy. And I think right now they got to just maybe pull back a little bit on him because they can run the ball and just do that. You don't want to get in a situation where you throw the game away when you don't have to. They're not at that point. It's 6-0. You're controlling on the ground. Keep it on the ground. Use the pass off, but keep them off balance.
Here we go. Eddie Murray kicks it away to Bobby Joe Edmonds. And he is smothered at the 32. Cedric Smith in on the tackle, along with Derek Brownlow. Well, a quarterback comparison through the first half. You see Dilfer, the 4 of 5 to 24 yards, but he's been sacked a couple of times today.
Yeah, that's true, but you know, the 4 or 5 for 24, that's not saying a whole lot. Sure, it'll show up as a great completion percentage, but that's not moving the ball anywhere. And the penalties have not helped his cause at all.
1st and 10, Buccaneers.
1st and 10 at the 32.
Dilfer, quarterback.
And Dilfer comes out throwing. Caught on the near side by Alvin Harper. That is his first catch of the season in this his first game in a Tampa Bay Buccaneer uniform. But hold on a minute. Are they going to... Is that Harper down on the field?
I think that's a Redskin there. That's Washington. Boy, and you know, we talked about the...
There's no foul on the play. It was illegal contact.
We talked about all the yickety-yak that went on between Washington and Alvin in the papers, and I'm kind of wondering maybe he did Alvin put a stiff arm into his chest or something?
Well, we're going to take a break while they attend to Washington. Tampa Bay with the ball, its opening drive.
Only one has the moves of Barry Sanders. Only one has his acceleration. Only one has his control. Only one has such breathtakingly perfect balance. Seville STS with the North Star system. A great performer creates a higher standard.
In 1970, Elton's very first song went gold. Then Rocket Man went gold. Then 103 of his other songs went gold. And now that he's touring with 38 musicians and a small army of stagehands...
And how will you be paying?
Elton's gone gold.
Money? These are gold. Oh, we'll need 371 wake-up calls.
After all, nothing's got the power of gold.
So the Nittany Lions of the Fighting Irish have given us another great college football game. And here are two tired generals looking for each other at midfield.
Tough break, Joe.
Yeah, I know. The tie's too much.
It's nice, but maybe next time something in a crew neck.
How'd you think that'd be too casual?
Collect a Burger King Legends of College Football Cup. Free when you upsize your Whopper value meal for just 39 cents.
Look, Joe, it's not the end of the world. Next cup, think pastels.
Fox NFL Sunday is brought to you by Cadillac and your Cadillac dealer, creating a higher standard. By Burger King, where you can get your burgers worth. By GTE. With GTE, it's amazing what we can do together. And by the U.S. Army. Learn how to get an edge on life. Be all you can be.
Well, we're back in Tampa, where James Washington has been taken to the Redskin bench. Gain of 13 on the pass to Alvin Harper. Play fake. Gilbert wide open. On the far side is Horace Copeland. Stop made by Stanley Richard. How about the injury to Washington?
Now here's Washington right here. I want you to watch carefully as he's making the pursuit toward the tackle. Right there, he pulls up and he grabs the inside of his leg. We don't want to speculate, but it looks as though that could be maybe a growing, something of that sort.
Well, Washington signed as a free agent from Dallas, led the Cowboys in interception 3 times in the last 5 years. Brett broke a tackle, and he's to the 36. Patton on the stop.
You know, that's those growings that we don't know if that's a result of fatigue. And here's another. This is Palmer. He's down. We don't know if that's. Excuse me. That's Tim Johnson down. We don't know if this is all a result of just fatigue or dehydration, or maybe the heat is now starting to take an effect.
Well, now the Redskin medical staff out to have a look at Tim Johnson. Will take another timeout. Tampa Bay on the move here to begin the second half, trailing 6-0.
Let's have a big hand for the Cooking with Terry and Howie show.
Today's recipe: 1 bag of Lay's, pour into bowl, let stand. Here's one I prepared earlier. And for you advanced cooks, I recommend wavy Lay's. Great with guacamole.
Next week, flaming kebab. For today's recipe, write the Lay's and Wavy Lay's potato chips. Bet you can't eat just one.
I've always wanted to do this.
With NFL Sunday Ticket on DirecTV, you get up to 13 regular season games live every Sunday. So if Washington is blowing out the Bucs, just switch to the 49ers Saints game. But hey, is Emmitt Smith breaking the rushing record? Are the Giants crushing the Eagles? You get it. Not on cable, but with DirecTV and this. Now that's a game plan. To get NFL Sunday Ticket on the 18-inch DSS dish of your choice, call 1-800-DirecTV.
Rarely does someone go where no one has gone before. Rarely does someone accomplish what has never been accomplished before. Rarely does an automotive system achieve a combination of advantages never achieved before. But when it does, the world tries to follow. The North Star system by Cadillac, creating a higher standard.
Football legend Lawrence Taylor takes on wrestling superstar Bam Bam Bigelow in the wildest sporting event of the year. WrestleMania, the special, Saturday at 11, 10 Central.
Well, a moment ago was James Washington, and now Tim Johnson, the injured Redskin.
Johnson, he's right over here in the corner. He's going to come into the play, and you're just going to see a good head-on collision. He goes down right there. Could be head, could be shoulder.
2nd and 8. The reverse to Thomas. And he's able to break the tackle of Patton. Finally pushed out of bounds by Darrell Green. It'll bring up 3rd and about 4 for Tampa Bay. Now this Washington defense, 21st in the NFL. But look at some of the other numbers against the running game. 28th. 30th in 3rd down conversions.
Yeah, let's see, this is from the first 3 games. This is why I bring up the point of the mistakes on the Bucs side to kill you. The Redskins have not been playing that well inside the red area on 3rd down situations.
3rd and 3. Brett will get a 1st down and more. Pushed out of bounds by Keith Taylor, the 7th-year pro out of Illinois, but Eric Rett, a 12-yard gain and a big 3rd down conversion.
You're going to see great blocking on this hole outside, and even better, look at the block right there, Beckles on Patton. But down the field, you're going to see Harper just take Tom Carter completely out of the play. There's really no perimeter support.
Ball at the Washington 19. Redskins leading 6-0. Red again. Trying to cut it back. He gets to the 15.
See, they come back with the same exact play, only this time, 27 Keith Taylor for the Redskins. He cheats down inside and comes in that alley. Coming right at you here. Watch 27 appear in the screen. Patton there trying to do a good job of keeping outside leverage, but Taylor said, you're not getting around me again. We talked a lot about that play action, that bootleg. This is a situation when they like to do that. Let's see if they stay true to it.
Gain of 4 for Eric Red. Now 2nd and 6. He's inside the 10.
Yeah, Sam does not want to take any chances on Dilfer throwing the ball right now. Because we don't get in the red area and score enough, guys. We need to just try to get down here and at worst get a field goal. But this is when the Tampa Bay Buccaneers self-destruct. And if you're the Washington Redskins, if you're Ron Lynn, the defensive coordinator for the Redskins, you got to be thinking play percentages, sit back in zones, and make them make a mistake. Let them make a mistake.
Red 64 yards on 15 carries. 2 tight ends, Harris and Armstrong in for the Bucs. Third and a foot. First down, touchdown. Eric Red.
They ran the same play 3 plays in a row. 3 out of the last 4 plays. Right here, Ty.J. Armstrong, watch the block he gets on Sterling Palmer on the outside. They're going to basically seal it off. Gruber's there. There he is. Watch this. Right here, 86. Bam. That seals off that whole side, and Patton gets caught in the traffic from the block.
But now the point after by Houston out of the hold of Casey Weldon, and the Buccaneers lead 7-6. A most impressive drive by Dilfer and the Buccaneers against the Washington defense. Rhett rolls in for the game's first touchdown.
He's going crazy.
Well, he's about to do a 100-yard sprint.
He said, I'm not bringing out all that stuff in the hoopla until I feel the crowd is ready.
There's a kick by Houston. And it bounces once into the arms of Mitchell. Whoa, is he tackled? Number 52, Wardell Rouse, a rookie linebacker out of Clemson. A little pushing and shoving. Rouse and Patton.
Here's a touchdown here. Ty.J. Armstrong in motion, and we can stop it right here. Watch the steal he gets on this side. Moore is going to lead up and get a block, but this is the key block right there. Lawrence Dawsey working on Darrell Green. No pressure from the outside.
Allen on the pitch. Breaks it back inside, and he's out to the 33. A Washington first down. Bussey on the tackle.
Now, see, that's what we talked about in the halftime. You know, I think they got to run the football because the Tampa Bay Buccaneers have not shown that they can stop the cutback plays. And that's Washington's bread and butter. They've done it for years.
Now, we talked about the Buccaneers' drive. 68 yards, capped off by a touchdown run by Eric Red. A 7-6 Buccaneers lead. Is able to get it off to Terry Allen. A short pickup, Derek Brooks on the stop. The Redskins have been very conservative on offense by and large.
Well, I think a key decision was made by Norv Turner after last week's game. He saw what happened when Lachey had to come out and they had to put in Patton at the left tackle. Brown stayed at the guard. Bernice Smith had to go to the center position. When they did that, he said, my quarterback only went down one time. I'm going to leave this group in. I'm not going to switch around, you know, whether Trey Johnson is healthy or not. He's got a big decision to make now when Trey Johnson is ready to go. Does he want to disturb this kind of protection that Perrott has?
Dumps it off across the middle. Reception made by Mitchell. Nickerson on the coverage and the tackle. It'll bring up 3rd down and less than 5. And they're going to spot it just outside the 40, so a 3rd and 3 officially for Washington.
I think the thing to look for here, will the Redskins keep everybody in? Will they keep both backs in to block, or will they let everybody out like they've been doing? And that's been giving defenses a lot of problems. They're flooding the zone.
Mitchell, the lone setback. Blitz coming, they pick it up. Perrott dumps it off to Coleman Bell. He's into Buccaneer territory, dragged down, ball came loose at the 42, and it's still Washington football. It looked like Leslie Shepard alertly diving on top of the football, an 18-yard gain for the Redskins.
Now, here's the advantage of when you get 5 people out in the route. There's always somebody to throw to. Bussey has got to make the tackle. If he makes that tackle, I'm not so sure that he won't have the guy for short of the first down. There's where the ball comes loose.
Here comes a reverse. Westbrook with room. First down. And tackled, pushed out of bounds by Barney Bussey. Westbrook earlier this year had a 58-yard touchdown run against Arizona. The longest believed from scrimmage by a Redskin receiver in their history.
Perfect time for a reverse, too. They've been running this play at you all day long, the cutback, and now they come with the reverse. But the backside discipline is key for the Bucs. In other words, people stayed home and played their responsibility. You can see Perrott there trying to get a block on Bussey. Tries to cut him, but it doesn't work.
Well, Lonnie March has just been taken off the field for the Buccaneers, and Wardell Rouse, the rookie out of Clemson, has taken over outside linebacker. Short game by Terry Allen. Wheeler on the stop. Perrott juggling the ball. They appear to have some problems right now. The center, Bernice Smith, as you brought up earlier, moved into the starting nod, with Giesick moving over to guard. A few exchange problems here to begin the second half. Six minutes to play in the 3rd quarter. Washington on the move. Ball is loose, and the Buccaneers have it. Just brought it up a moment ago. Santana Dodson covers it up.
Yeah, that's a great point. Now, you know, Trevor Maddich is playing center, okay? And that's a switch up for Perrott now. He's not used to that. Let's see if they even got the handoff. No, he never got the handoff. He never got the snap.
So we'll take a break. Turnover for Washington, and the Buccaneers have it.
Lower your right foot and repeat after me. I promise to be free. I promise to be different. I promise to take the other path. I promise to be unique. I promise to drive an Eldorado with a 300 horsepower North Star V8, a suspension that reads faster than Evelyn Wood, and a body that parts traffic. Eldorado with the North Star system by Cadillac.
Listen, did you call for phone service?
Is technology amazing? The GTE, we think it should make your life easier, like Express Dial Tone, which allowed Kim Swanson to order new phone service by plugging in her phone.
Cool number, thanks.
Which she finds pretty amazing.
What are you going to do for dinner?
We could have some wieners.
Why? Because she won't have to eat something really scary for dinner tonight. Amazing.
If you don't replace your air and oil filters regularly, you might as well drive your car off a cliff, because dirt can really mess up an engine. Fram Extra Life air filters and Fram Extra Guard oil filters keep out dirt best to protect your engine. Fram, America's #1 premium brand. Pay a little now or a lot later.
Buy any 2 Fram filters and get your favorite officially licensed NFL team cap for $1.99.
Something wild is happening after Married with Children.
You know, you never really buy beer, you just rent it.
Misery Loves Company premieres next Sunday on Fox.
There's the play here. He never gets it. You see that ball comes up by his chest. It almost looks like a shotgun snap.
Well, Dilfer to put it up. And the pass caught by Ty J. Armstrong, a short gain on first down.
You know, I got to go back to that now. Giesick went out for a few plays. They had to do some switching around like we've been talking about. Bernice had to move over. There's Bernice right there on the sidelines. Matic had to come in and play center. You know, they take snaps in practice, a few, but most of the snaps he's going to take are from the starting center, Bernice, okay, not from Matic.
Second and 4 for Dilfer.
You better hurry up.
This gets off the play and rest. No room to run this time. Met by Sterling Palmer.
You know what, Tom? I gotta believe, I've been wrong on it twice, but I gotta believe that Sam Weiss is just trying to check out the Redskins' backside real careful. And when I say backside, I mean the side away from that running play, that cutback play. Because the bootleg has got to be in their mind. When you get the defense that runs and pursues like Washington does, and they leave that whole backside open, they got to be thinking of the bootleg sooner or later here.
3rd and 4. Good protection. Caught by Dorsey. Tampa Bay first down, close to midfield. Right now, from McDonald's Game Break, let's return to James Brown in our Hollywood studio.
Hey, Tom, the Giants trying to get in the win column in a big way. Rodney Hampton, 3rd rushing touchdown of the day. Giants lead it 31-17. Back to Tom and Rod.
Well, here at 7-6 Buccaneers, a Washington turnover. And the Bucs have the ball just shy of midfield, a 1st and 10. Dilfer has hit on his last 7 throws, and there's Red crossing midfield to the 49. So since the second half has started, Sam Weiss has opened it up a little bit offensively.
Finally, he gets a break now that the flag's going the other side.
First penalty of the game against the Redskins. 3:30 to play in the 3rd quarter, and both coaches will readily admit their teams need this game badly. For Norv Turner and the Redskins, it's a home date next weekend against the Dallas Cowboys.
Boy, and that's going to go back to the old days right there. I can tell you right now, that's going to be a great one.
First and 5, short drop, near side, reception made by Harper, his 2nd catch of the day. And Alvin Harper hearing a big round of applause from the Buccaneer fans, and this is his first action of the season. If you think the internet is a safe place to play, you better think again. 2 undercover cops are looking for a killer who uses his computer to lure young girls away from their home. It's a story torn from today's headlines. Watch a brand new New York Undercover Thursday at 9 Eastern, 8 Central on Fox. 1st and 10 Buccaneers at the Washington 40. Going to the near side, reception made by Lamar Thomas, 3rd-year pro out of Miami.
Now that's that play action off of the cutback play, the fake cutback play that I was talking about. They've run this play so many times today, and it's just natural that they're going to come with the fake. Right here, watch the play action to Red, but watch what Dilfer does to the ball. Look at that. He's trying to get a little Joe Willie Namath out of him that time. The nice comeback. You got Tom Carter, who's still kind of nursing that hamstring. I don't blame him. Hey, get beat going that way, not the other way.
20-yard gain. First and 10 at the Washington 21. Red breaking tackles to the 15. Mark Lutte able to trip him up. What a turnaround for Trent Dilfer here in the second half.
Well, what I'm seeing Trent Dilfer do that they haven't done since the Philadelphia game is that he's checking at the line of scrimmage. Okay, it worked in Philadelphia great. They got away from it. They started to go back to the traditional stuff. Hey, if that worked, keep doing it. That's what he's done the whole series. He's calling the play at the line like he's doing right now.
Second and 5. Rhett to the 12, where he'll be about a yard and a half shy of the first down. We haven't said Rod Stevens' name often today. Signed as a free agent from Seattle. And Patton also joins him on the stop. So a third down, a big third down for the Washington defense. On the ropes here in the second half.
And they're working over that Washington front four. I mean, when you get the ball running on you like that and you get holes like that, that's all on your front four. And when they get shut down, now people can get to your linebackers, and the linebackers can't come off and make tackles.
Armstrong in motion, Rhett. First down carry inside the 10. Ty J. Armstrong is a load.
Everything on this play is going to start this direction, and Red is going to have the option of cutting it back if he doesn't see what he likes up in here. But watch the man-to-man blocking up front. Pine to a great block right there on Stevens. Actually, he got a little bit of a hold there. But when you're working those guys up front, you're getting blocks, you're allowing people to get out in your linebackers, you got a serious problem as a defense.
And the Washington defense getting banged up. First Washington, then Johnson, now Tony Woods.
The sleepy town of Madison isn't sleeping today, as the Dodgers, led by quarterback Billy Hespin, host division rivals, the Bears. The Bears were up by 3 with the clock winding down in the 4th, when, reminiscent of Steve Young, Hespin launches a frozen rope to put the Dodgers ahead for good, as the Bears helplessly watch the lead vanish in the glare of the South New Jersey sun.
Is there a defense that can stop me? Maybe not. Maybe if they had cars, they could stop me. Maybe not. Maybe if they had trucks. Maybe not. Maybe if they had helicopters. Helicopters and jets. Maybe. Maybe. Maybe not.
Married with Children's Ed O'Neill takes you to a strange world where science fiction is fact and nothing is impossible. Weird World, world premiere Tuesday.
This is the, when you got a 43 defense.
And we'll get back to that play. First and goal. Rolling right, Dilfer to the end zone, and it's overthrown. The intended receiver, Jackie Harris.
It came with the play I've been talking about all day long, that bootleg, the naked bootleg off the play action from the cutback. but it's just a great job of coverage in the secondary. He had time. Guys are running around there. He doesn't have any place to throw the football. Now, that's a good thing for Sam Weiss, because Dilfer in the past has thrown that ball, tried to force it, made a mistake. They got to come away with at least a field goal here. They have to get points.
Second and goal. Brett looking for room, and not much there. Keith Taylor up to make the tackle from the strong safety spot. Had help from Terry Crews. So third and goal, as that'll be the final play of the third quarter. Our score here in Tampa Bay: the Buccaneers 7, Washington 6. Fox NFL Sunday will continue after these messages. Dilfer to the corner, coming back. No!
Whoa. Alvin Harper's going to have a lot to say about this. You better get out of there. He's going to get a flag. Yeah, I knew it. And they're absolutely right. Alvin should know. He's been in the league too long to lose his cool like that.
Well, I think there's some debate going on.
Even if he is right.
Amongst the officials down in the corner, it appears as though one official saw it one way, the other official saw it another. This ought to be very interesting. You saw Dilfer celebrating.
What is it with the Redskins and these controversial touchdowns?
Well, Darrell Green pleading his case.
Now this is what we talked about in the pregame show. The work in the officials, and that's absolutely right. Darrell Green's got to get in there. You don't do what Alvin Harper did, but you got to get in there and work them.
That was a call that went against Washington last week on the pass to Michael Westbrook.
All right, we're going to see the corner of the end zone. Now, Alvin has the ball. Does he demonstrate possession? He doesn't have that right foot down, but you know what? It's a push out, a shoulder out by Green. This will be a great picture of it right here. If we can slow it down, there's one. But you know what? Here's what I don't disagree. I disagree, and I'll tell you why. Darrell Green is playing the football. He doesn't push him out. He's playing the football. His right hand was going for the interception. His left hand wasn't nowhere near. I don't agree with that call. Alvin Harper's own momentum running back to the football took him out of bounds.
On the penalty flag, we'll have to wait till the kickoff before that will take effect. Husted on for the extra point. And Norv Turner, who went on record after the loss to Denver last week, saying that the instant replay should be brought back to the NFL, is not going to like a second look at this controversial call in the end zone. The extra point tacked on, and a 14-6 Tampa Bay lead. Alvin Harper, 8 touchdowns for Dallas last year, his first as a Buccaneer.
We took the most comfortable full-size pickup on the road and made it more comfortable. We took the most thoughtful interior on the market and made it more thoughtful. We took the biggest cab in the industry and made it bigger. The Dodge Ram Club Cab. First we changed the rules, then we stretched them. At America's Truck Stop, the new Dodge.
Filtered Miller Genuine Draft, the cold one. You know the beer, you know the taste. With Miller Genuine Draft, the world's a very cool place.
Fox NFL Sunday is brought to you by the new Dodge, a division of the Chrysler Corporation. By the U.S. Navy, you and the Navy, full speed ahead. By McDonald's, the official restaurant of the National Football League. And by Enterprise Rent-A-Car. Pick Enterprise. We'll pick you up.
Get a look at the University of Tampa. Gorgeous shot. And a 14-6. Buccaneers lead, and Norv Turner most unhappy about that call a moment ago on the touchdown pass to Alvin Harper.
Yeah, well, the rule is if you are forced out of bounds in a situation where under normal circumstances you would have come down inbounds, then it is a touchdown. But as we're going to see, I don't see that Darrell Green physically pushes him out of bounds. He's going for the football.
Well, Alvin Harper's been thrown out of the game. Oh, Mitchell is tripped up at the 35. They had to kick it from the 15 after the penalty. Kenneth Gant on the tackle. And here we go, another look on the touchdown.
Now, remembering the rule, let's see if Darrell Green physically pushes him out of bounds. I don't see it. I see Darrell Green playing the football with both hands. I see Harper's momentum carrying him out of bounds. Watch it here. Harper is coming back to the football. His own momentum is taking him out of bounds. And he's only got 1 foot in anyway, and that's where he gets thrown out of the game. And you know what? That's warranted. You can get up in the referee's face and talk, but you can't physically touch him.
Now the Redskins down by 8. Barat to the air. And he throws across the middle to the tight end, Scott Galbraith. Well, last week, a controversial play in the end zone when Barat was going for Michael Westbrook.
And I'll tell you the difference here. I want you to watch the defensive back's arm. Right there. His left arm is on Westbrook's shoulder, forcing him, pushing him out of bounds. That was not the case with the Harper touchdown.
Yeah, you have to allow him to come down.
Exactly.
And that's where he was pushed out.
Boy, this is going to be big all week long, especially for Norv Turner. I mean, I know he can't wait to give the league office a call on this one. That's 2 weeks in a row now that he has had the short end of a very big stick.
Well, Norv Turner's team threw 31 points on the board last week at Denver. Look at this in the second half. Tampa Bay dominating. 139 yards, big 3rd and 5 for the Redskins.
Yeah, but this is where Gus Barat has got to show everybody what he really is about.
Penalty flags. Stop the play.
That's going to be on Patton, the left tackle.
Illegal procedure. And again, this makeshift offensive line.
Before the snap, false start on the offense, number 68. 5-yard penalty, repeat, 3rd down.
That's a new position now for Joe Patton. He's doing the switching around right there on the other side of the goalpost. Watch him just lean back. He took that set step, and that was enough. But see, now you're in a situation, 3rd and 11 instead of 3rd and 6. Let's see if that 5 yards makes a difference.
As we get to the 45, good protection for Rock. Throws behind Westbrook. Still looked like a catchable ball, and it would have been a first down to midfield.
I think you're right. I think the ball was behind and a little high, and it should have been caught too, because I've seen Westbrook make those catches.
3 and out for the Washington offense.
When was the last time you saw a 3 and out? There haven't been too many 3 and outs today for the Redskins.
Matt Turk, the punt for the 3rd time, and Bobby Joe Edmonds stands at his own 20. The 25, and he'll return it nearly 8 yards out to the 33. A 40-yard boot by Matt Turk, and James Jenkins, backup tight end, made the tackle. Alvin Harper thrown out of the game, but his team leads by 8.
than denim in every pair of Levi's jeans.
Let's have a big hand for the Cooking with Terry and Howie show.
Today's recipe, 1 bag of Lay's, pour into bowl, let stand. Here's one I prepared earlier. And for you advanced cooks, I recommend wavy Lay's. Great with guacamole.
Next week, flaming kebab. For today's recipe, write the Lay's and Wavy Lay's potato chips. Bet you can't eat just one.
There are a lot of compelling reasons for buying a Dodge Ram. A potent line of Magnum engines, the most available towing of any pickup, payload capacity of up to 2.5 tons. But perhaps the weightiest argument is this. Dodge Ram has higher resale than Ford, Chevy, or GMC. The rules have indeed changed.
Well, look what Tampa Bay has done in the second half with the football after a disastrous first half.
Now, you know what, Tom? That's all about what we talked about at halftime, though. No dumb mistakes, or cut down on the dumb mistakes, the penalties, the jumping off sides. And they're putting the ball in the end zone. They're scoring when they get down in the red area. They've gotten down in the red area before, but they have something dumb happen, and they don't get any points.
Well, the Buccaneer crowd has come alive. Blanked in the first half, 14 on 2 possessions here in the second. Under 13 minutes left to go. Delay, red, and not much room to run. Sterling Palmer, the first to meet him. Well, coming up next, it's the second half of our Fox NFL Sunday doubleheader. Most of you will see the Cardinals take on the Dallas Cowboys, or the Philadelphia Eagles, an interconference battle against the Oakland Raiders. Check local listings for the game and time in your area.
When you talk about the little things that get you beat the miscues, that time, Dilfer and Rhett were not on the same page. Looked like Dilfer didn't know the play was supposed to go where it went.
Dilfer in trouble, throws it up, and nearly intercepted. Able to get a hand on it was Ken Harvey. Right now, from McDonald's Game Break, let's return to James Brown in Hollywood.
That one was nearly picked off. This one was. Pittsburgh is unraveling. Jim Miller, the backup quarterback, throws a pick to Jack Del Rio. Rio realizes he has no speed, hands it to Orlando Thomas. He heads to pay dirt. Vikings are beating up on the Steelers 37-6 late in the third. Back to Thom and Ron.
Well, that Minnesota team took Dallas to overtime last week. And now laying it on the wounded Steelers. 3rd and 9. Dilfer, great protection. And he's looking downfield. Broken up. Jackie Harris was down there, and on the coverage, Daryl Morrison.
See, that's where Dilfer's got to make a decision, okay? He's got to take off and run that ball. I mean, you're sitting there. He needs 5 yards for the first down. He's got to run it right here. I'm going to show you. You don't see what you want. Take off and run the ball. Instead, he's going to try to force one to Jackie Harris. I think that the game is switching now with Alvin Harper out. Just think, Alvin Harper got in this game coming out in the second half with a quick out, getting a touchdown. He's gone now. Redskins can play differently back there in the secondary.
Very interesting point. We'll keep an eye out for that. Well, lots of time for the Redskins. Roby coming away, and here's Brian Mitchell at the 20. And he brings it out to the 28, a 47-yard boot. Demetrius DeBose able to come downfield and make the tackle. 11:48 to go in Tampa, Florida. The Buccaneers in front of the Redskins, 14-6.
As a rule, engines develop good torque only when you push hard on the accelerator. But even at idle speed, a Dodge Magnum V8 can pull not only this loaded Ram 1500, but this loaded 2500, and a loaded 3500 as well. 15 tons. That's because every Ram truck has to pull much more than its own weight, even at idle speed. That's our rule. Dodge Ram. The rules have changed.
She's 13 years old, and she spends 4 hours every day climbing a wet ladder. to do what she does better than most everyone in the world. And if she works hard enough, there will come a day when she'll leave the only home she's ever known and travel half a world away to the Olympic Games in Atlanta. And everything this little girl from South Korea has grown up with, every face, every sight, every sound, will be far away. Everything but one thing. Because McDonald's will be in the Olympic Village to help feed the athletes. And anyone who might be hungry for a little taste of home.
Hollywood comes to Springfield.
Hi, Milhouse.
The Simpsons.
Stupid dummy wasn't supposed to explode yet.
An all-new episode tonight on Fox.
14-6, Tampa Bay in front of Washington. 11:48 to go.
I'll tell you what, all those women want to meet Thom Brennaman.
Oh, yeah.
I guarantee you.
We go from the beauties to the beasts. Those gentlemen up front.
Which is the original line. Now, they were in also last series. I think that had a lot to do with that miscue early on the fumble.
Barak comes out throwing, slings it far side to Henry Ellard. Good enough for a first down. Henry Ellard. Signed as a free agent from the Los Angeles Rams after spending 11 years there.
This shows you the poise of Gus Frerotte here. Now, they're going to work this play over here to this side, and you're going to see the way the linebacker, he waits just long enough for the linebacker to get out of the window. Right there, that's Brooks. Brooks was standing right there where he wanted to throw the ball. He just waited a split second. That's time. So you can't teach that.
Give it to Terry Allen. And Derek Brooks, the rookie out of Florida State, tackles him after a good pickup, gain of nearly 7. Plenty of time for the Redskins. 11 minutes left to go.
Once again, back like we talked about at halftime. They're back on that run. The Bucs have not stopped the run, and everybody talks about how they've gotten better this year. If you look at North Turner, yeah, they've gotten better, but you know what? You're talking about a darn good offensive line. It's funny, an offensive line that comes together by chance. Like North told us, I'm not going to change. They did a good job last week, and they're doing a good job this week as far as the run is concerned.
Running March back in for the Buccaneer defense. Nickerson meets Allen head on. Well shy of the first down. And we'd like to remind you at the end of this game, Ron and I will select the Miller Lite Player of the Game. Still a long way to go.
Boy,
See Mitchell and Coleman Bell along with receiver Leslie Shepard coming on for the Redskins for what will be a 3rd down and 3 to go.
I can't help but go back to this Alvin Harper thing. Who would have thought that he would come into this game and then, of all things, get ejected from the game? He was just had on his mind to just come in and play and get through the game.
Quick slant.
Oh, great job by Dimry up top.
Looking for Westbrook.
Dimry, free agent from Denver, came over last year. They wanted to throw the quick slant. Look at Westbrook there. He's still down. That looks like that might be cramps the way he's acting. You know, when you got cramps, you don't want to get up too quick, because you know if you straighten your leg or you bend your leg at all, that muscle's going to fatigue, pull, and bring your leg up.
Boy, this Washington offense, after putting up 31 points last week at Denver, have done close to nothing here today. Matt Turk again on the punt. And it's Edmonds standing back at his own 10. He waved for the fair catch at the 13. That's where the Buccaneers offense will put it in play. A 39-yard punt by Turk. We'll take a timeout. 9:37 to go. The Buccaneers leading the Redskins 14-6.
Not everything is black and white. Some things are black and white. Or black and green. Occasionally black and blue. Pro Player home and away jackets come in all these colors and reverse to all of these colors.
The only guys who have Pro Player jackets are black and white.
Refs, no way. They never reverse anything.
No, Foot Locker, the guys in stripes. Black and white.
The Pro Player reversible jacket. Reverse it.
We gave Dodge Ram the most powerful overall line of truck engines on the planet. A driver's side airbag. The option of four-wheel anti-lock brakes. A cab designed to set the standard for comfort and room. Then, after we made Ram that good, we made it this bad. The Ram Sport. At America's Truck Stop, the new Dodge.
Space is a dangerous place. From the producers of The X-Files. Space above and beyond. Tonight at 7, 6 Central.
Well, we're back in Tampa, where the Buccaneers defense is trying to cool off along with everybody else here at Tampa Stadium.
It's gotten hotter. It's gotten hotter down on the field. My man there, he's got the right idea. You gotta open up that vest and don't wear anything under.
I was going to say, why bring the vest?
Here we go, back to the audible.
Just getting it off with 2 seconds left. Throws, and the catch is made by Lawrence Dawsey. Boy, Dilfer has been very impressive here in the second half. He's had good protection, and by and large, he has looked to the right man. 20-yard gain and another Washington injury. They are beginning to pile up. Johnson was hurt earlier, you may remember.
And I got to believe this is still the same injury. That shoulder there, that's got to be the same thing, the way he laid on it, the right shoulder. And he is in a lot of pain. You know, you talk about the casualties today. We know that Martz, Smith, and Woods, those are definitely heat-related injuries.
Yeah, Martz had to go into the locker room and get an IV.
In Washington now, that's a key guy in your secondary. You know, you want to know why these passes are being completed and why all of a sudden Trent Dilfer is getting to you. You know, that doesn't help.
Well, Norv Turner realizing that his team is a wounded bunch right now. You see Schuler, he's unable to go today. And there's a look at James Washington, who will not return. Mankind is about to get a wake-up call. Tonight at 7 Eastern, 6 Central, the producers of The X-Files take you even deeper into the unknown. Don't miss the 2-hour series premiere of Space, Above and Beyond, followed by all new episodes of The Simpsons and Married with Children at special times tonight on Fox.
I got to have a little bit of concern now if I'm a Washington Redskins fan, not only with the fact that the score is 14-6 in the fourth quarter here and Tampa Bay's just got a first down, but the casualties, okay, the depletion, the attrition is starting to take place now, okay? And it's hitting them in a place they can't afford it in their defensive line.
And you know, Ron, one thing we hear about continuously in this day and age of free agency, not being able to keep teams together, particularly the really good teams, is a lack of depth around the league.
Oh, you can't, like they say, okay? Sam told me the other day, you can't keep them, you can't stack them. Here we go back to the injury. Look on the left-hand side. There's Johnson with the arm rip working on Pine. Boy, you talk about holding, Tom. They just don't call holding when they want to, huh? They do it when they want to. I'm not so sure he didn't hurt his shoulder from being held by Pine.
Well, I don't know how you can miss that call.
Wow.
That's like watching the sun come up. It's right in front of you.
He's got to get his pads readjusted now.
Well, Norv Turner, in his second year at the helm of Washington, 43 years old.
I think it's a ground game now for Tampa Bay. Unless you got to pass it.
Brett trying to break it to the outside, pushed out of bounds by Stanley Richard.
The sheriff coming down the pipe trying to lay down a little law there. Coming into this game, this secondary of the Washington Redskins, without James Washington, they are probably, the safeties are probably two of the best in the league without a doubt. I mean, you got guys that can cover, and that's the key thing. You don't see big free safeties much anymore that can't cover. Everybody needs a guy that can cover for 3 wide-out formations and run and shoots and things like that.
2nd and 10, back to the ground, showing up a little bit of time, but the Redskins defense up to the task. William Gaines, who has come on to replace Johnson, in on the stop.
Yeah, you talk about what it means to go to training camp and what it means to be in the weight room and lift all that weight and eat right and do all that. Well, this is what it's all about. When it's 110 degrees down on the field in the 4th quarter and you're behind or you're ahead and you gotta make a play, this is when all that pays off.
A big 3rd and 8. Dilfer out of the shotgun.
You know, look at the Redskins running. They're talking, doing a lot of talking like they're not quite sure.
Bucs 4 of 4 on 3rd downs this half. And make it 5 out of 5. Courtney Hawkins out to the 45.
You know, it always makes me nervous as a former defensive back when you hear a lot of talking going on before the snap. Somebody's not ready. Here's Tom Carter. Now, Tom has got to take inside position, and he loses inside position. He doesn't have any help. And just the way he was standing up before the snap, I mean, it didn't look like he was ready to play football. And I don't know if he's getting tired, the heat, that could be a factor, but he didn't look like he was ready to play.
Some conversation going on as the play clock.
Smart, though. Look at Dilfer. He's letting that play clock go down as much as possible. Very smart.
Well, Dilfer, this is just his 9th game of his career. 6 games started. And we mentioned he is the youngest starting quarterback in the NFL, 23 years old. We remind you, coming up next, it's the 2nd half of our Fox NFL Sunday doubleheader. Most of you will see the Arizona Cardinals take on the Dallas Cowboys, or the Philadelphia Eagles against the Oakland Raiders. Check local listings for the game and time in your area. 7:15 to go here in the game. Trent Dilfer and the Buccaneers in front of the Redskins 14-6. It'll be a 1st and 10. Buccaneers at their own 45. Well, we talked about the age of Dilfer. You see Schuler and Ferran on that list. Bledsoe, of course, but a remarkable year last year. And Jeff Blake becoming a terrific quarterback.
Yeah, we don't hear much about Blake, but he's up there. You made a great point. Hey, you're in the pros now, okay? Forget the age stuff. It's time to be a man and play football. And I agree with that 100%.
Left side, Brett looking for a block. And he's pushed out of bounds at midfield. That'll be a gain of 5. Right now, let's return to James Brown in our Hollywood studio.
Tom, the Bears are battling back. Eric Kramer with his 4th touchdown toss, a career high for him, a floater. So a wide open Jeff Graham, nice move. He finds the end zone. It is now 31-28 in the 4th. Back to Tampa Bay, Tom and Ron.
I guess you could say he turned 6 real nice from second base. He kept his foot. That was nice.
25 carries for Eric Rett, 97 yards. Trying to add to that. No, they handed off for a change to Jerry Ellison. That is only the 2nd carry by Ellison this season, and he is the only man to rush the football for the Buccaneers this season outside of Rett.
I think the Washington Redskins defense is tired. Very tired. You look at the way guys get up. You look at how they stand in the huddle. That tells you right there. Now, if you're Ron Lynn, the defensive coordinator for the Redskins, you got to do something.
And we mentioned the fact that of the quartet of Tampa Bay runners, only Ellison outside of Rett has gained any yardage. They'll continue to try and wear down the Washington defense. Rett a big gain inside the 40 to the 38. Harvey on the tackle.
Well, Ellison that time with a nice block to spring that hole. We're talking a little bit about what they got to do defensively. The Redskins, I think they got to find some way to get some blitzes going, get somebody in the inside. I mean, they're just running right through the interior of the line. They got to send Patton. They got to send Harvey. They got to get a safety up there. They got to do something now. Let's get it down. 5:20, 5:21.
That is eclipsed the 100-yard mark. Looking to tack on some more. Stays inbound. Clock continues to roll. Darrell Green on the tackle.
You know, I think Darrell Green is coming up and hitting more and more every year. You know, usually you get corners like that that have been in the league 13 years, they hit less. This guy's hitting more, I think.
Well, what an amazing player Darrell Green has been for the Redskins. Playing in his 174th game today. 9th all-time in franchise history. 13 years out of Texas A&I. Big play, 3rd and 3, and here they come. Dilfer just throws it up and has to throw it away. Ken Harvey on the attack, and that's what you talked about, Ron Pitts, trying to make a play.
He had to come in there, and you know, they got to pick that up. Ellison's standing in there. He's got to find a way to step up in there and make that block. And it's funny, you talk about the little things and how close. Tampa Bay that time is maybe 10, 15 yards away from a field goal and really putting a damper on this game as far as the Redskins are concerned. But that's a mark of a good football team that can shut a team down when they need to get the ball back. And now they have plenty of time to work with.
Roby to kick. And angling for the sideline, unable to do it. Back into the end zone. So Gus Frerotte, who last week rallied his team from a 24-7 deficit, will now take over at the 20-yard line. And, well, these are the kind of situations that will certainly dictate down the road whether Gus Frerotte stays as the Washington starter or whether he gives the job back to Heath Schuler upon his healthy return.
Yeah, it is almost a picture-perfect scenario, isn't it? Coming down here the last 4 minutes of the game, you're behind. But like I say, Tom, I still got to go with what I said earlier. I think it's a done deal. I think he's shown enough that he is your guy. And hey, let's look at the other side of it. You still got a great quarterback, potentially a great quarterback on the sideline.
Yeah, but you're paying that guy to stay a lot. The boatload of dough.
Oh, it's not my checkbook, you know.
Here we go. Frerotte, good protection. And the ball is dropped by Terry Allen.
You know, just when I went down on the field today and standing there and I was talking to Tom Hayes, defensive back coach, just sweat just dripping all down in between my shirt and everything, I'm thinking, if I'm like this with a shirt on and no jacket, what are these guys going through with pads on? It's miserable. And the worst thing about it is you lose the mental edge. You lose your focus.
2nd and 10. Frerotte guns across the middle. Flags come in. It'll be interference against Martin Mayhew, trying to stay with Henry Ellard.
It's funny, Martin's not doing much complaining. Usually Martin jumps up and raises a big tiff whenever he gets an interference, but it's like he knew.
Interference against the defense, number 35. Caught foul, automatic, first down.
Check it out, the ball's coming right to you here. I don't see any contact before that, but he may have had that hand on the back. Well, he might have got that hand there a little early. I don't know, boy. That's questionable. I don't know.
1st and 10 at the 36, and again Frerotte in the flat to Terry Allen. Cuts it back inside, picks up 8. Brooks and Nickerson on the tackle for the Buccaneers. 3:55 and counting, a 14-6 Tampa Bay lead. We're in the 4th.
This is where Frerotte was at his best last week, I thought. On that last drive, and especially when they got in that 4th down situation. I mean, just very cool, very calm. Let's see if he can maintain that poise now on this trip here.
And obviously down by 8. A Washington touchdown. You have to go for 2. Frerotte had it batted at the line of scrimmage.
Cheating.
Now, he had 2 blocked passes against the Bears last week.
Cheaty right here down at the bottom of your screen. He's going to get the swim moving just at the last minute. He gets his hands up You know, there's been a lot said about that. If you can't get the sack, the next best thing is the hurry, the pressure.
Culpepper, Dotson, McIntosh check in on the defensive front for the Buccaneers.
Oh, they blow the handoff.
A 3rd and 2. Can Farad get there? It's going to be very close, depending on the spot. Well, Norv Turner looking things over. He has probably the best view of anybody.
They got somebody hurt bad.
Charles Dimry.
That's Dimry.
Dimry that came over and made the tackle on Gus Farad along with Barney Bussey from his strong safety spot. Dimry has played a terrific game here today.
He sure has. He's taken away, we've counted 2 slant routes. One from Ellard, one from Westbrook. Westbrook 2 catches for 21 yards. They've definitely taken him out of the big play phase of it. Watch this, they blow the handoff. Gus looks as though he's thinking the handoff's coming the opposite way. Bussey came up and hit Dimry. Watch right here, Bussey 27 is going to come up and miss Farad and hit Dimry right there.
Whoa.
And that's not we don't like to see that. That's a shot to the side of the head, the neck.
Well, this could be a very serious injury. That replay, I mean, coming full bore, as you pointed out, was Bussey, and it looked to be right in the head, helmet to helmet.
But you know, they say all the time that you get hit most by your own people. And that's true, but a lot of that happens when a guy's flying in and doesn't open his eyes. You know, at the last minute, I think it's a natural tendency to shut your eyes, close your eyes and take the impact of the hit. But they always say, see what you hit. And I got to believe if Bussey has his head up and is looking, see, he's got his head down. That's the key right there. At the last minute, Bussey ducked his head. He couldn't see anything.
Well, certainly everyone's thoughts and prayers right now with Charles Dimry. That was an ugly collision. Meanwhile, for Norv Turner and Gus Farad, they will await certainly a measurement. It appeared as though Farad came up a little short, but again, depending on the spot of the football, it would bring up 4th down and about a half a yard.
Absolutely. Like you say, you know, you never know where they're going to spot the football. And they can never really get a true mark on where the ball is dead at. It's a guesstimation, and then sometimes that guesstimation works in your favor and sometimes it doesn't.
Well, they're still taking a look at Charles Dimry, who we have not seen move of yet after taking that hit, an intentional hit, quite obviously, from his teammate Barney Bussey, who is as concerned, if not more concerned, than anybody else here at Tampa Stadium right now, and they're going to have to bring out a stretcher for Charles Dimry.
Watch Bussey's head. 27 coming right.
Miller knew what hit him, as you see Fernando Smith grab the season, and I think he might.
I think after so many years in the pros, the fundamentals of the game start to go away, and you're more obsessed with winning and the numbers and all that. But that's something that you're taught back in Little League football, in Pop Warner football. Keep your head up, and that's one of with the new rules. That's what one of the things the new rules are trying to do. They're trying to get guys to hit what they see, keep their heads up. And right there, you know, if Bussey is executing and following the new rule about keeping your head up at all times, that play doesn't happen. Dimry may be walking around right now.
Well, you saw him lift the backboard off of the stretcher, and they'll try and get Dimry onto that, lift him up, and put him onto the stretcher very slowly and carefully. Oh, certainly we hope he is going to be all right.
And well, you know, it's better to see him take that shot with his head go to the side than it is to see the head go down. Because we see too many of the times when the head's gone down, it's automatically a very tragic situation. So if there's any consolation at all to this injury, as it appears, at least his head went to the side. And they're being very careful, if you notice, of not letting him move and not moving him at all. Even if he can move, they're not letting him move. Sam right now talking to the offense, trying to keep everybody's focus when you get a situation like this, an injury that looks so serious to your own teammates. Guys have a tendency to drift, and this is a very important part of the game. And we hope that Dimry is okay.
A classy move by Gus Farad. He just walked over and bent down and said a little something to Charles Dimry.
I tell you what, with Gus Farad, I joked around last night. He's kind of like the Forrest Gump of the NFL quarterbacks this year. I think he's, you know, such an honest guy, very confident, but yet very quiet, very much to himself. Funny comment he made the other day talking about the golf tournament in Idaho. The quarterbacks got together, and every year they have these big golf tournaments. Well, he shoots a hole in one. So he's running around telling his wife, he's thinking, oh yeah, honey, we're going to get a car, we're going to get a couple $100,000. He said they gave me a picture of the hole. He said even Sonny Jurgensen was mad about that one. That's why I say he's got to be the Forrest Gump quarterbacks in the NFL right now.
Well, Charles Dimry will be taken off the field. And certainly if we have any kind of update regarding his injury, we'll let you know just as soon as we can. And again, our thoughts and prayers are with him.
Well, it seems to be a lot of the Redskins are pointing first down. And it is.
So he was able to lean far enough after the broken play, and Farad first down for Washington.
And you know, you talked about Thom, Farad having to step up, prove that he deserves this position. Well, hey, he lays it out in the line right there.
14-6 in favor of Tampa Bay. We have 3:12, and now the clock starts. Left to play here at Tampa Stadium. Redskins at their own 46. The screen to Mitchell. Read beautifully by the Buccaneer defense, but a missed tackle, and then finally able to stop him was Lonnie Martz.
Dotson's got him from behind. He misses the tackle.
Clock still running at 2:43. The ball just inside Buccaneers territory. Farad looks downfield, overthrown, and a flag comes in late.
Stargell
trying to defend Westbrook.
Tony Stargell there. 45. They're going to get him for the hold. And it looked as though Westbrook was trying to work back out to the outside corner, and he couldn't get there. That's why Farad threw the ball to that corner.
That would be the second pass interference call on this drive.
Holding on the defense, number 45. 5-yard penalty, automatic. First down.
Let's check it out here. One-on-one bump and run coverage. Decent jam right there. I don't think that's a problem. Right there. He's got him on the inside of that pad. He's tried to make the break. You know, an interesting thing about that, they will never call the wide receiver when he grabs the defensive back to get by, but they will always call the defensive back.
First and 10. Farad steps up, lost the pass to Brian Mitchell, and he's to the 33. Another Washington first down. Stargell tripped him up. Clock continues to roll.
What a catch by Brian Mitchell. You know, you talk about a guy, you get him the ball, and he's going to make things happen. Watch this. Watch, first of all, Farrat avoid the rush. Okay, working back outside. But see that there one-hand grab? That's unbelievable.
Farrat just before the 2-minute warning. Sack by Warren Sapp, the #1 pick out of Miami. So we have reached the 2-minute warning. Officially 1:57 left. Washington on the move, trailing by 8.
で、お子さんたち新しいコンピューター気に入ったの？
それがまだ立ち上げてないんだ。何しろ僕は不器用なもんでね。
うちじゃアクティバがみんなに大人気。IBM のホームコンピューター、CD ラムがついてて、トップトップいっぱいあるし、箱から出してすぐ使えるようになってるんですよ。
単位でもセットアップできるってわけ？
腕はいらないのよ。
Let's take a look.
Doc, every fall it's the same old thing. It hurts here when I do this, and it hurts here when I go like this. And when I do this, it hurts. And it really hurts when I do this.
Then don't do that. Introducing the new Toro Super Blower Vac, the most powerful handheld blower you can buy, gas or electric. Toro, when you want it done right.
Guys, this year, we're going to win it. No one is leaving this room until we figure out how. No one.
Not going anywhere for a while? Grab a Snickers, because nothing holds you over better. Hungry? Why wait?
Enterprise? Hi, I'm at the repair shop. I need to rent a car.
As we take a break, a look at Eric Metcalf of the Atlanta Falcons, who take on the Jets. Kickoff about 15 minutes away.
Washington marching down the field thanks to a pair of pass interference calls. They converted another 3rd down on a broken play. So while it's been ugly, it's been effective. And Washington trying to go for the tie, trailing by 8. They would need a touchdown and obviously a 2-point conversion. Bob Brennaman, Ron Pitts. On a 2nd down. Farrat. Incomplete, looking for Henry Ellard.
Working on Stargell. You know, Stargell's a guy came in here, created from the Jets last year. He was actually got in the middle of a renegotiation of a restructuring of his contract right before the opener against Philly. He wasn't happy. He wanted to test the market, went out and decided he wasn't going to get anything better. They cut him or re-signed him back about 2 days later. So that's been a guy who's really turned out to be a pretty good piece. He's had to step in with some injury situations to Denver.
3rd and 12. Farrat, far side, got his man. Henry Ellard after the drop a moment ago, and they cash in on a 3rd and 12. 1st down at the Buccaneer 21, 135 and counting.
They come back and run the same play. It's the same deep out. Stargell has got to tighten it up. Yeah, you're getting down near the red area. He's just going to come down, get past the marker, and stop. I mean, look at the cushion that Stargell has. I mean, what is he? Is he playing a prevent defense? Well, I tell you what, as a former corner, I'm going to get all over him for that one. He's got to tighten it down.
Now Washington spending a timeout. We brought up earlier that 86 of the 91 receptions made by Ellard have given him a new set of downs.
You give Ellard that and he will take it all day long. He's the master at the deep comeback. That's what they ran in LA when Norv Turner was there as the wide receivers coach. That's what they ran.
2 timeouts remaining for each team. Farrat has hit on 18 of 33, 202 yards. He's had 4 passes dropped. He's been sacked 3 times for 15 yards. Has not thrown a touchdown nor an interception.
Yeah, we talked about how good Tampa Bay is in the red area and their defense and how they've not allowed touchdowns and very few field goals. Well, this is where they got to earn their money.
First and 10 at the Buccaneer 20. 2nd and 10. The ball tipped as Farrat turned it loose.
Boy, Sam Weiss should thank the defensive line for tip balls because Coleman Bell is wide open. You can't get to the quarterback. If you know you're not going to get there, then get your hands up and get the tip. Right there inside, that's where it came from. And look at Coleman Bell, 87. It's Chidi Ahanotu who's come on. The heat is not affecting Chidi Ahanotu one bit.
11th play of the drive. 2nd and 10 at the 20. Redskins trail by 8. And the flag comes down on the near side. They may have taken too much time. Or perhaps someone jumped early.
Now, there was time on the clock.
Before the snap, false start on the offense, number 85. 5-yard penalty, repeat, 2nd down.
Eller, a receiver. Boy, you know, these are the things you just hate to look at on film. When you go back and look at Norbert, he's got that look on his face. He's like, what is going on? Of all guys, you can count on 2 fingers how many times you see a receiver false start. Especially one that's been in the league for 13 years.
Well, Eller's had a tough day. He's dropped a couple of passes, now an offside.
Look for the blitz.
And he's gone back. Farrat underthrows. Coleman Bell, and again Farrat taken to the deck. Curry applying pressure along with Culpepper.
Gus took a shot. You know, it's interesting. They have given Gus good protection for the most part since the beginning of this season. And one thing I say is, what will happen? Will he still have that same poise and confidence after he takes a couple shots? You know, you see guys like Marino and Jeff George, and, you know, they take shots. It's hard to stay in there and keep throwing that ball when you take those shots.
3rd down and 15. Farrat has a man caught inside the 5. Henry Ellert. 1st and goal, Redskins, with 1:15 left. And Washington will spend a timeout.
They've been working the zones, the windows inside the zones, all those little openings all day long. And that's one thing that Farrat does well. He sees well, and he has the patience to wait on things to open up. Ellert's just going to come down inside, and he's just going to look for the opening. There's a linebacker to the right of him, and all Farrat does is wait for him to get out of there. Look at the height. Look at the jump he gets inside there. See, Lonnie Martz was in the way. Lonnie Martz was in that hole. And as soon as Lonnie Martz moved out, 51, the window opened up and he makes the throw.
But Ron, I got to ask you pointed it out a moment ago with Stargell, now Mayhew on the other side. A 3rd down and 15, you know they have to get to the stick. How do you drop that far back in defensive coverage? I mean, Eller just ran to the spot of the mark and just turned around.
Well, actually, they had it defended because if the linebacker stays in that zone, in his zone, they're going to defend it. Because Farrat has to throw over him. He's in the throwing lane, in other words. But all he has to do is move out. And you haven't seen any kind of secondary blitzing from Tampa Bay yet. This might be a good time for it.
14th play of the drive. Oh, an early start. It looked like Ed Simmons, the right tackle.
False start. Offense, number 76. 5-yard penalty. Repeat, 1st down.
I go back to the heat on that one. You know, Simmons, he's been in the game all day today. He's a 9-year vet. When it gets hot and it gets late in the game, your mind wanders. It's hard to stay focused. You think you hear 2 in the huddle, and it was actually on 3.
Well, now you back them up 5 rather than 1st and goal from the 5. 1st and goal from the 10. Let's see if that hurts Washington with 1:12 left. Farrat caught by Mitchell. Still on his feet. And now he breaks away, but they're whistling the play dead at the 5. And the clock continuing to run at 57-56.
Yeah, Culpepper, once again, Farrat took another shot. You know, Norm talked about how he only took one shot, and he's upset about something. He's got to get the play off.
Second and goal.
He was trying to get Norm Turner out of his ear from that coach-to-quarterback communication device.
Well, they burned a lot of time here. Barat caught at the 2. 25 seconds left. Again, it's Mitchell. Yeah, and they'll stop it with 22 seconds left.
He had to burn it.
So Barat will trot over to the sideline, have a quick chat with Norv Turner. Barat trying to take his team down the field on this final drive. Go in for a touchdown, and then it would be a 2-point conversion. They need to cash in on to tie the game at 14. Washington is out of timeouts. It'll be a 3rd and goal from the 2.
You know what? They had a touchdown last week against Denver. The same exact situation. Mark Logan caught it, but it was the same situation this close to the goal line. And what they did is they got everybody out into the field. They flooded the zone. Let's see if they do the same thing here. But one thing I've noticed that's really happened, Galbraith, he was involved. He was coming along the back of the end zone, exactly. One thing I've noticed, though, is Tampa Bay has picked it up. They've turned it up a notch in terms of the pass rush. And they are putting hits on Farad. Let's see if he still has that same poise.
3rd and goal. And Washington's asking the crowd to calm down. Fat chance. Here they come. Farad. Whoa, what a play. Down by Stargell. Defending Westbrook.
Oh, what a play.
And goal.
And you know, we talked about they might want to do a safety blitz or corner blitz. They brought Thomas Everett from the other side, but right here at the top, watch this. At the last minute, Stargell is going to get a hand up, his left hand. And I'll tell you why that's a good play. He's got to protect his inside. He doesn't have any help in there. He made Westbrook fight to get inside. And by the time Westbrook was done fighting, he may not have had the energy to go up and get the ball.
Well, here we go. This is a game. 4th and goal. Blitz coming up top into the corner. Caught, but out of bounds. A flag has come in. Stargell shoving Westbrook aside. And let's see what the decision will be here. Interference, it looks like, against the Buccaneers.
Pass interference on the defense, number 45. Fouls in the end zone, the ball is put at the 1-yard line. Automatic, 1st down.
Well, the problem here is that Stargell never turned his back to look at the ball. Therefore, if you're not playing the ball in the referee's eyes, it's interference. But that left hand right there, he puts hands on him and not looking at the ball, they're going to call it. Especially when the ball's in the air.
And now about Westbrook, he still caught the ball. Oh,
yeah,
is he going to be a terrific player for these Redskins? But on 4th and goal, Stargell, the interference call.
Like I say, if you put hands on the receiver and you are not looking at the ball, it's almost 100% it's going to get called against you.
So again, a reminder, Washington out of timeouts. 1st and goal from the 1. And 13 seconds remain in the game.
Well, that's a big break now for the Washington Redskins. Pound it in, I say. I think so.
Out of timeouts. It'll be an interesting decision here.
Yeah, what do? You throw it? Do you run it? What they have to do, they have to have a hot play ready, meaning that if they don't get in, they got to have a spike play ready or an out-of-bounds play, something ready. And they got to know that. This takes me back to last year, the play with Cleveland and Dallas. The one where Novacek missed getting in the end zone. And there was some discussion as to whether or not they had a time to get a hot play. They have to have that ready if they don't make it.
Now the Buccaneer defense now wanting a timeout. 13 seconds left. The Bucs have 2 timeouts to spend. They'll take 1 now.
And here's the thing to think about too, Tom. If you run the ball, you don't have timeouts, you don't make it, okay? Do you think that the Tampa Bay Buccaneers are going to get off that big pile fast to help you to get that thing? You'll never get guys off the pile. So maybe if you run it toward the sideline. But why run 30 yards to get 1 yard, you know? This is a tough decision for Norv Turner.
Well, we brought up earlier, Ron pointed out that they got Mark Logan on a touchdown pass in this situation. They've hit Scott Galbraith for 2 this season, the only 2 receptions he has made all year long.
And that is a long yard. I mean, that's more than a yard. They call it a yard on the scoreboard, but that's like a yard and a quarter. That's a long yard.
Well, here we go. Ball at the 1. Washington out of timeouts. 13 seconds left. High formation. And Allen, play fake to the end zone. Missed his man wide open.
And they got flags. Great play. Great play called by Norv Turner.
Cedric Smith, the intended receiver, but again, flags on the play.
Tampa Bay might have been lined up in the neutral zone.
That would move it to the half-yard line.
There are 2 fouls on the play. Personal foul, 15-yard face mask on the defense, number 35. And a roughing the passer on number 93. First down.
You know the worst thing about those 2 calls is that those calls are dumb plays, okay? Shouldn't have happened. Well, we're going to get a look at the roughing the passer from here, but right there, Martin Mayhew grabs the face mask.
And then Demetrius DeBose.
And then DeBose takes a late hit.
Coleman Bell.
And Mayhew was beat inside. He had to grab something.
9 seconds left.
The same dilemma, but you've already shown your hand.
Play fake. Perrott to the back of the end zone. Intercepted by Martin Mayhew. The first mistake all day long by Perrott at the game's most critical time.
The problem there is that he showed his hand the play before. Watch the top up here in the corner. Mayhew is going to run all the way along the back of the end zone. And a great job of seeing the ball and turning around and making the play.
Boy, it looked like he had Jenkins wide open. A yard inside the end zone.
You know what? A tough throw. And Gus
is.
Perrott should not have his head down, because they wouldn't be in this position if it wasn't for him anyway, I think. But he's got to throw that ball to the corner of the end zone. If his man doesn't get it, nobody gets it.
Well, Dilfer will take a knee. The Buccaneers go to 2-2 on the season. And Dilfer played a terrific second half. Our Miller Lite player of the game is Eric Rett of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. He had a big time of it today on the ground for Sam Weich's team. And again, he is our Miller Lite player of the game. And another tough loss for the Redskins.
Here's another look at the touchdown, or the interception rather. Look along the back of the end zone. Now, you got a matchup problem. See, this ball needs to go back here, okay? You know, you got downs, okay? Don't throw it short. That's the worst thing you can do. Another thing is, look at the matchup they got. Mayhew on a tight end. That's excellent. If you're the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, that's what you want.
All right, for Ron Pitts, I'm Thom Brennaman saying so long from Tampa. Our final score, 14-6 Bucs. Up next, it'll be the Arizona Cardinals and the Dallas Cowboys, or the Philadelphia Eagles playing the Oakland Raiders. Check the local times and listings in your area.